From downtown, this is Tim Kitzer from NBA Jam, and you're listening to NintenDomain Podcast. Boom shakalaka!
This week on NintenDomain, we have another Direct to talk about. Plus, hey, there's a shit ton of news coming out of Gamescom.
This party's getting rowdy, which is good for me because I make more money.
Everything is coming up, John.
Welcome to NintenDomain Podcast, episode 485. Your place to hear Nintendo fans talk about more Directs, third episode with Directs in it. And Gamescom is, who knew, would be the place for a lot of news, plus other things, like this game called UFO 50, which John and I did actually play. But we are your hosts. I'm Trey Teeth Lord Johnson.
I'm Jeremy House of Party Mikowski.
I'm John Moo.
John Moo 3 Enhanced Edition.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think we could just start off with what we're doing and then we'll talk about the Direct? We don't need to go the Direct was just about one game, so we don't need to spend as much time on it as we normally do.
More or less it was one of his YouTube videos.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah. I put that in the notes that I figured that
did you?
I figured that he probably edited it, like shot and edited it,
right,
just like he did his other stuff, because it had like the same feeling to it. I guess we could talk about it since we're already talking about it. So So Tuesday, Sakurai had a Kirby Air Riders Direct, which is, like I said, there was 1 week there where there wasn't Direct, but it's been like Direct after Direct after Direct here. And it was like a 47-minute Direct just on Kirby Air Riders. And I was talking to John about it earlier, and I was like, I think that Direct, I think it taught me how to play the GameCube game. So I think I'm going to go back and try to play Kirby Air Rider, the original one, because I never really understood it. And I kind of still don't understand it, but I never had this 47-minute video to explain to me how to play the game.
The creator.
So I'm going to go back and try that GameCube game that I already have, and see how that is. But I was overly pretty positive about the Direct. I thought it was cool. I'm glad it's not $80, which I was like, oh no, is this going to be like Mario Kart? But also, I'm still kind of, like I said, I'm still not really exactly sure how to play a Kirby Air Riders. Because there seems to be just as confusing as it was before. We got the city trial. City trial has 16 people now that you can play online. Cool, but it still has like the 5 minutes where you just run around and try to get as many like stat boosts as you can, and then you get thrown into like some random games after that. But I put in the notes. It's kind of like we're getting a revival of Monkey Target in here. I saw like some stuff that reminded me of the Monkey Target game. Well, sort of like you have the thing where you're flying at the wall and you got to hit the different numbers to get the price, to get the different points. But there's also one where you're like skydiving, where you're falling through points also. So if you kind of put them all together, it kind of feels like a Monkey Target, right? You play it 16-person online. Yeah, I don't know. Kirby. There's a lot of extra characters now. I was talking to John at the pizza place earlier. Starman was pretty popular online. I saw a lot of people loving Starman. That's the character that's the star wearing a cape, and he seemed to be pretty well received on the internets there. People loving the Starman. But was it 16 different characters, I think, total? You can play 8 players local, switch to switch. They dropped 7 songs on Nintendo Music, which I actually did listen to on the way over here when I was driving to Michigan. If they have the Japanese and English version of the title song, so I appreciated that we had the Japanese song on there. That's cool. And the songs from the races, they hit pretty hard. There's some good like cool like metal breakdowns in there. So listen to it if you haven't. I recommend it. And I was gonna make a Kirby playlist while I was listening to it, and I was like, yeah, let's do some other Kirby stuff. There's only like 3 Kirby songs on Nintendo Music. It feels so like limited. Like I could have sworn that Kirby Superstar was on there, but that's not even on there. It's just Forgotten Land, Star Allies, and Kirby's Dream Land 1. Those are the only soundtracks out of the whole app that we have from Kirby, and like the 7 songs from Air Ride, Air Riders. And I think the soundtrack for Dreamland is like 20 minutes maybe total for the whole way through, so there's not a whole lot of songs in there. So that disappointed me, but I did like build a playlist I listened to like all the Pilot Wings music and stuff like that because I haven't really listened to that yet. So it's still there. Interesting. There was some funny stuff in there. Like I've seen a lot of funny memes about the extra button now. How there's 2 buttons instead of 1. And I swear I was at Kroger last night just picking up some food for the hotel here. And I swear these kids were like talking about the Y button and how there were how there's an extra button. I think I overheard some youngins talking about Kirby Air Riders.
Wow.
So that was funny. I was like, are they talking about Kirby Air Riders? Because they were like, yeah, the second button, the Y button, the second button. I was like, did I just hear that right? These fucking hooligans that are running around, they're talking about.
He definitely didn't mention the
Y
second button until it came up. Like it was like, there's only one button. He said that at first.
Yeah, I thought there was some fun, like little, funny stuff in there where he's like, oh, they asked me to make this, and I was like, oh, it's just like Mario Kart. It's not like Mario Kart, but
well, no, that's what he said. He said
Yeah.
a lot of people are saying, well, isn't that basically just Mario Kart? And then he said a couple of things, and it went back to him, and he's like, yeah, it's kind of like Mario Kart, basically, or whatever. So
Yep.
Yeah, he said something
it was like a good comic timing, and obviously he edited it.
Yeah, he said something like, oh, it's like Mario Kart, and he's like, I told them that, and they were like, no, I don't care, make it anyway. But I saw a lot of memes of like the picture from Toy Story or whatever, where like people are like, I'm not going to play with you anymore, and they're dropping the Mario Kart world and holding like Kirby Air Riders. So it seemed to be pretty well received from what I saw.
It's kind of poised to pick up the slack or whatever slack there might be from people's disappointment of Mario Kart. There's some still lingering disappointment from that, and not that it's a bad game or anything, but then people are kind of left feeling like, I don't know. It could have been something else that they wanted. Maybe now they're pinning their hopes to this.
Yeah, it was some of the crew members that I've been working with on this job. I hadn't talked to them in a while, and they're both like Nintendo. Well, one of them's the camera guy's like a big Nintendo guy. And when I first saw him for this, right when I got on the job, he was like, "Dude, UFO 50, you're playing it, right?" And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, "Dude, this is the gamer's game. It's so good." And I just thought it was funny that he walk up to me and say UFO 50. But yeah, no, we were talking about Switch 2 and all that because he has a Switch 2, and it seemed like he was kind of one of the PA also had a Switch 2, and they both seemed kind of a little underwhelmed by Mario Kart World, from what I heard. So yeah, I was like, yeah, that open world was not as fun as I thought it would be. I thought it'd have a little bit more to it, but who knows?
Yeah, kind of overall, like I was neutral on the game going in. I think I'm kind of neutral on the game going out. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I don't see you rushing out to get it, but I did mention at the store that there's a lot more battling in this than Mario Kart World. So I thought you might be a little intrigued by that because there is a lot of like, there is like a straight up battle mode, or like there are like stuff where you have to just beat the shit out of each other. And there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff based around, and everybody has copy abilities. I thought that was interesting, not just Kirby anymore. And I thought it was funny that he basically says like, it's like when he's introducing the characters, he's like, here's Kirby, he's perfect in every way, and here's Kirby's ride, which is also perfect in every way. So he's like not saying anything bad about Kirby or anything bad about Kirby's Star Mobile or whatever that he's using. I just thought it was funny that it's like, that he specifically pointed that out. He's like, oh no, he's the best character. But and then I looked at the other ones and he didn't necessarily talk like badly about them. He just talked more about their strengths or whatever. But Kirby was just like perfect in every way.
Well, yeah, but Kirby has the benefit of being his baby.
Yeah. But there's a lot of a lot of it's based around attacks, like all the copy abilities, and there's a super sword mode where you can just like cut the shit out of the other character, which you basically use Y for your super moves that you attack people with. But there seemed to be a lot of like battle type, like put them in an area together, you got to attack each other, like that sort of thing in the city trial stuff. So it felt like there was a lot more battle stuff to it than you would see in like Mario Kart World. That's why I thought it might like intrigue you a little bit, because of that.
That did intrigue me a little bit, but this I was trying to think, what is about this game that like does not appeal to me. One of the things,
probably that Kirby's in it.
well, that Kirby's in it. I've never been interested in Kirby, but then also like I don't like games with lots of text flying around on the screen. Like it's kind of the same reason that I don't like a lot of RPGs. Just
was there a lot of text on the screen?
Yeah, like
I didn't notice
in the
that.
battle mode that you were mentioning, like you could see like all the players' names in the background and lots of like I think I remember some like onomatopoeia or something floating around. And then there was icons, like all the different icons for the power ups they have to collect.
Yeah, they're all the different. They're all the different like icons that mean like defense or like attack power or turn ability or speed or there's all the stuff you have to collect for the city trial stuff.
I don't like visual noise that's not like within the world of the game. I mean, if it's apart from the game, if it's something trying to communicate to the player and it's just like scattered all over the screen, I find that really distracting, and I just don't like that in general. If it's something, I like visual noise that's like in the game. Like I like Smash Brothers is a good example of that. Like all that stuff is like those are items that you can grab, and the interface looks pretty clean, and it has the benefit of being mostly 2D, so it's a little easier to read. But just like zipping all around and having icons and text all over the screen, I find that really distracting. So that's part of the reason I didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really notice that. I was trying to. I mean, I know. Yeah, definitely the city trial. There's a lot of icons and shit in the background. But I could be the ambassador for the game. I mean, it's coming out. It's coming out in November. Like I said, I need to just give the GameCube game another run again, and try to play it from what Sakurai said about this one, and maybe I can finally learn how to play the game, because I was always very confused by how it works.
I don't think it's that expensive.
Oh, I already have it. The GameCube game. Well, we saw.
Oh, we went and saw it today for $70.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. We saw it at one of the last places. It was 60 or 70, something like that. So
I was high 60s, yeah.
More than
without
when it
the
came out.
box.
Did you play NBA Jam?
I did not play any of the arcade games. I was the downstairs neighbors, they would distract me with their broom banging.
I told you. I wasn't kidding, was I?
Yeah, I got broomed like.
Trey got broomed
within like seconds of getting there. It's like, hey, hey, how's it going? Shut up.
Yep.
It's really, they're really fucking touchy about the. Yeah, it's like
they sat down on the couch. They got the broom.
Yeah, it's like you can't walk. Don't walk. If you walk, it's too loud.
It'd be funny if there was just like
can't walk.
Whoever
can't
lived
sit.
underneath had it rigged up like a vibration sensor to something, and it was just
an auto broom.
Yeah, and like they're not even there, and it's still doing.
It's just so they will always annoy you whether you're actually there or not. It's like, shut up, just constantly shut up.
Yeah, that's why we couldn't record in person. Trey wanted to record in person, so did I. But
man, I wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah. It reminded me of. I remember my friend Darren got an apartment. I was telling John this, where he got an apartment where one of his neighbors was like yelling at him for he was playing like Fallout on PS3 like at 11 in the morning or something, and he's like I'm leaving. He's like, I'm moving out of here. Like there's no way I'm gonna live here. You're not gonna let me play a video game like in the morning even. I remember that.
Yeah, that's the best time to play.
He moved out like within like the first week because they were telling him he was too loud. And knew it the same thing. He was like living there by himself. And he just wanted to play video games, and they were freaking out about it. So he was out of there pretty quickly.
Sean and I are way too loud to live somewhere like that. We would not be happy.
Well, I've had my share of loud roommates, and I remember upstairs neighbor Jason would always be really loud in the hallway, and I did like tell him to be quiet towards the end there, because that stairway is like right above my room, so it's like it's really loud, and he would have a lot of comedians over, and you know how they are, really loud and annoying and not funny. So I mean that's what.
Yeah, they save it all for the stage.
Yeah, well, they're not funny there too, also, but afterwards they're drunk and more annoying, So. No, I would always refer to them as gremlins in my head. Like if you remember the end of Gremlins 1, like when all the gremlins get populated and you can like see them coming over the horizon, that's like whenever Kohl's closed, I would just see like this horizon of like 50 comedians all coming into the upstairs apartment. At the end, it's like, bring the whole bar here. It's like, oh, okay. It's not as fun when you're sober and trying to fall asleep.
Less comedic.
But I don't know. What did you think of the Direct overall, Jeremy?
I didn't watch the whole thing because I think I just kind of lost interest. But I think it's one of those things. If they do like a test trial or whatever, and I got to play the online mode because that's where it's going to shine. I think because you're going to want to play against real people or whatever.
Yeah, they should do a global test fire. I never really thought about that. Maybe because it's only like a few months away. I thought.
Right.
When is it? Did they announce the release date?
Yeah, it's in December. Or no, not December.
Okay.
November. It's in like November 20th or something like that.
$70. Yeah.
Yep.
So is this the big holiday game?
Oh, I mean,
I still don't think so.
I mean, just remember this big holiday game thing is kind of not a real thing. Last year's big holiday game was Mario and Luigi Brothership. Like, anybody remember that game? No.
Yeah, that was the whole holiday for me.
Yeah, I mean, but that was the holiday game. Like they don't really have a big holiday game. I think the actual holiday game was probably Mario Party Jamboree, but that came out in October. So I mean,
and maybe there's an exception though. For this is the first holiday of a new system. Like,
I don't think so.
Probably should be a big holiday game for the new system.
I guess the other thing is that
it's Kirby Air Riders. That's it. Either that, well, they might have the Zelda game, the Zelda Age of whatever it's called, Age of Muso, coming out in December.
Even with all these directs, we're still waiting on the proper Nintendo first party focused direct. We haven't gotten that. So I think they've cleared them all out of the system, and something's coming up soon. Has to be.
I don't know. To me, it's just getting more and more focused, it would seem. So, like, maybe whatever the next big thing is, there'll be a direct just about that.
Yeah, I mean, they get like all the stuff they unveiled like through Nintendo today. They could have easily made a direct out of that, like the Splatoon stuff and the trailers that come out of there.
Maybe they're tired of stuff leaking.
I would expect that we would get something in September or October, but I mean, I think it's pretty fucking packed already. Like I've been putting together a calendar as like trying to figure out how many of these games I'm actually going to get, because September and October are pretty fucking loaded, especially October. October is incredibly loaded. There's for me, there's 3 big RPGs coming out one after another, like right next to it. There's like Pokemon and Persona and Dragon Quest 1 and 2, like back to back to back. Not to mention not to mention the Chronos game and like the Star Wars game and and the Daemon Ex Machina game is actually, I played a little bit of the demo last night. I don't have the best internet in this hotel, so it took me like 3 hours to download the demo. It was only 20 gigs. Thankfully, it's not that huge. You don't have to clear like 70 gigs or whatever to play it, but it looks better than the other one. It kind of drops you right into it, so it goes puts you right in the action. You're like in a prison. You got a buddy. You're trying to get out. You're fighting a bunch of other robots. So far, it feels better paced. It's my TV's kind of small here, and the font is really, really tiny, so it was kind of hard for me to figure out what was going on, because I think they expect you to play it on a giant TV. But I mean, it looked pretty good from what I saw of it. I mean, like that's another like September, October game.
One more thing, Prime 4 just got rated PG. Yeah, that just happened. Breaking news from like 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
T for I can't think.
Alien
of
Blood.
It starts with T.
Animated Blood. Would you say T for About Time?
It's about time.
Yeah, but I mean, it's I was actually the direct came out like right when I had to leave for Michigan, so I played it in my car, but it's all in Japanese, so I didn't really know what was happening, so I had to watch it later, like once I was done with work at the day. So I watched it again at like 11 at night or whatever, and I was like, oh, I missed all this stuff, but also I'm kind of really confused, but kind of psyched too. I don't know. It's not made by HAL Laboratory, interestingly. It's made by Namco Bandai, which I thought was something. I was really convinced that they were going to like shadow drop the GameCube game to the GameCube app, but didn't do that at the end of the direct, I mean, you don't want to clog it up too much, because Chibi Robo is out now, and they don't.
I know, I got to play Chibi Robo.
We don't want them to like have to come out at the same time. People might miss one or the other, so. Got to wait like a couple weeks. And I played like the first 5 minutes of Chibi Robo, and
See,
it's a very silly, funny game. I forgot.
It's so charming.
I forgot the how everybody's like they all have these weird voices and stuff, and
and all the noises.
It's very
like every
over the
little
top.
action.
And,
There's noise for every little footstep, and there's different little blip, 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 if you're on the tile, or there's like blip, 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 if you're on carpet. And it's all, oh man, there's so much character to the game. I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of charm and a lot of silly characters. That dad I forgot how funny that dad guy is. I think you'll like it, Jeremy. It's very much like the quirky Japanese, Japanese weird family. You got the kid that thinks she's a frog and just says ribbit all the time, and that's, ribbit, ribbit, like means whatever you want it to be, means like yes, no, like sure, whatever, and they just respond to it like it's its own
kettle,
its own like language. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's cool.
Enduring all over.
There was some stuff in the direct that's like, some mysteries. Like he kept talking about the volcano that was in the city trial, and he like almost goes there, but he's like, no, I'm not going there yet. So maybe we'll find that out later. And then at the very, very end of it, there's this like shadow tumbleweed tornado looking guy that shows up that you see for like a couple seconds. So I don't know, whatever. But enough about that. Do you guys want to start off the show as we normally do and talk about games we've been playing?
Sure. Well, you and I both got some games.
Yeah, John and I, we did like a used game store tour.
Oh, hell yeah.
Through I don't know, what was it, like Northville versus, I don't know all the places around here.
So Northville's where I live, but yep. And then we went to basically Livonia was the area you could call it. Yep. It's where we focused. So I thought, well, what should we do? We got an afternoon. We're not close enough to Detroit that we can get back there to go there and then get back in time to do the podcast and all that. So yeah, we didn't go to Detroit or anything, but
it's fine though. I mean, I thought it was fun. We hit how many places did we go to? Like 4 or 5?
We went to 4.
Remember?
Yeah. Went to 4 different stores, and then we went to Buddy's Pizza. Trey wanted some authentic Detroit food, so
nice.
That's Buddy's. Yep.
Yeah, it was like I was asking you, like, what's good around here to have, and you were talking about how Buddy, I don't describe it. How you're talking about the brick cheese and all that. How would you describe?
So Buddy's
Pizza.
So surely many of you out there have heard of Detroit style pizza. Detroit style pizza is Buddy's Pizza. Like Buddy's is the one that popularized the style, or even created. There's stories that there's another restaurant that created the style.
Jets?
Back in not Jets, definitely not Jets.
Is Jets Detroit style?
Yeah,
no.
I'm just giving you a hard time because Jets is was like that's kind of like what people would say, like Jets, because
that's what people
they advertise themselves as Detroit style pizza. Jets Pizza does.
So Buddy's is Detroit style pizza. The way that it is, if you don't know, it's kind of like between a typical run of the mill pizza and Chicago deep dish pizza. Like as far as the thickness, it's like kind of right in between there. It's square, not round.
Ooh.
And then I would say the two main traits of it are that, one, that the crust is crispy all around. Like it's the way they bake it in the pan, it gets every side of the crust. Like whereas sometimes you get a pizza and you're like, there's one edge of the crust, the corner pieces or whatever, that's favorable because that's where the heat sort of hits the most and makes the crust crispy. Well, they figured out how to make it crispy all over the entire pizza. So that's trait number 1. Trait number 2 is they use brick cheese. So not like shaved mozzarella or anything. They use brick cheese, and so it's like rich and thick and spongy. Specifically, use Wisconsin brick cheese.
So you mean they by brick? You mean they slice chunks and set it on pizza instead of shaving it or whatever? Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And so it's just
like they do with mozzarella on like a Napoleon pizza or whatever they call those pizzas.
It was definitely very, very cheesy. Like it was very
but it's like a thick. It's not like a creamy cheese. It's not like a droopy, drippy cheese. It's like a nice, solid, thick sponge of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great. It's my favorite kind of pizza.
thick sponge.
It's very filling.
It's good that you live in the land of your favorite pizza. That seems pretty nice.
That's true. Yeah.
My favorite's definitely not Chicago.
Well, I mean, I live in. I don't like.
And
Chicago,
I don't even live in
I don't
Chicago.
like Chicago style either, and I live there. So, I mean, I like thin crust. Actually, is the kind that I like. But I did like the Detroit pizza.
And we got two kinds. We got one was a Detroit pizza, just as Trey just said.
Yeah, the Detroiter. It's like it was like pepperoni and whatever. Right? It was mostly pepperoni, but I think there was sausage on there.
Pepperoni and auto parts.
And auto parts,
pepperoni and oil and car oil.
Yeah, oil instead of sauce. Yeah.
I always get the steel breadsticks.
It was pepperoni and chunks of the RoboCop statue. We're working there. It's very it's very Detroit.
It'd be funny if they had a statue of RoboCop like Philadelphia does.
There was a campaign.
There was a campaign.
I'll say that's the joke. Yeah, because was a big. There was a whole thing that they were going to build a RoboCop statue in Detroit because it took place in Detroit and all that stuff.
I don't remember if they did it. I got to look it up.
And I thought it happened. Maybe
I thought it happened too.
I would think. I mean, you owe it to yourself to go see it since you live there. You should check it out if it does exist.
You should. Well, so we did the pizza at the end, but throughout the day we were going around different game stores, and so we went to. I wrote down the names of them. Let's see, where do we go? We went to.
I don't remember the name of the first one, but I did like that one.
I forgot the name of the first one too. Yep. That was one that I hadn't been to before, but it turned out to be a good one. Destiny. It was Destiny Games.
Yeah, Destiny Games. We did not ask them if they had Destiny there. They probably did. We were making jokes about the PS5 because the PS5 is supposed to go up in $50 tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
on the price of it. Yeah. And I was like, John, you can get a PS5 right now for like $380 at the Destiny Games with the disc drive. Even that's much cheaper than it will be.
Yeah,
we saw a good amount of we saw a good amount of used PS5s around actually. I've never seen a PS5 like new in a store. You know, I mean, I don't look that often, but when I do, I don't see anything.
I don't think I ever have either.
And I saw a whole lot of used ones today. I saw a bunch of them right up front under the cash register.
I haven't seen too many PS5s. Period. Like I think at my cousin's house, she has one, but. It's just shocking to me every time I see how big it was. The original model.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
I mean, is the Pro smaller or is that bigger?
I'm not sure. I just know that there's the smaller model of the initial one, and then I think the Pro is about that size. I think.
Yeah, at Destiny Games we saw some cool stuff. I found Super Mario Brothers Brawl.
Oh, yeah, they had.
I said that right. Super Mario Brothers Brawl. There's the photo right there.
Yeah, they had a. I was like, oh, what's that? That's a rare game. They should be selling that for more than $28, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. It was just somebody mislabeled it who didn't know better, I guess. Trey found Body Harvest sealed for N64 for $270.
Oh yeah,
it's. Oh, fun. That's what you bought.
Yeah. I mean, I told John. I said John had to buy it for me for Christmas. I just think it's funny that it's like Body Harvest. It's like a game that I like that they have sealed there for hundreds of dollars.
Metroid Prime Trilogy was there for $160 sealed.
Was that the one that
had it the steel case?
Steel case, yep.
Was that the one that had the $600 Suikoden 2 sealed?
I think so. I think it is right there.
Yeah, because I took a picture of it. It was like $600 Suikoden next to $110 Dragon Quest 9 sealed, the DS game, and $100 Dragon Quest 4 not sealed. And I was like, man, I remember when I bought Dragon Quest 4 on DS for $20 from Square Enix specifically. But that was a very long time ago. That was pre-pandemic. But I'm glad I bought all those Dragon Quest games when I did, because I was like, I was working on a movie and I had some extra money, and I was like, I'm just going to buy every Dragon Quest game and I'm just going to play through all of them. And I got them for cheap, and then I don't think they were ever that cheap again after that. So
you got me the one.
I got you 8.
You got me 8 on the 3DS, and even that one's like pricey now.
Yeah, and I got yours when I bought it new from Target. Like, it was when they still had 3DS games out at Target, so it was still kind of like fairly new.
Speaking of 3DS games, Tomodachi Life was there for $120. It was there at another store for $120
Is it
too.
sealed?
This is used.
Wow, because I have that game.
120 used. Yeah,
I have that game. I bought it. I got it for one of those like buy two get one free Target deals. I got Tomodachi Life.
Dang, Target gave away $120.
So I have So I was like, how many of these games do I have? Like I saw the Death and Return of Superman for Super Nintendo selling for like $60 at one of those places, and I was like, I have that game. I actually think that's a decent Superman game. I mean, it's a beat 'em up. It's a Superman beat 'em up, but. Yeah. That was how I learned about the other Supermen, like Steel and Eradicator and all that.
Sealed Animal Crossing for $400.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is a pretty cool store.
Was it Tom Nook selling it by chance?
Yeah, I wish. I did notice that there was a lot more GameCube games. Like a lot of these places you go to, there's not that many GameCube games, but most of the places we went to had a decent selection of GameCube games.
At least, half a shelf or
Yeah, sometimes it's like a little tiny spot that only has like 5, and they're all like, Madden or NASCAR or whatever, whatever, like a bunch of different sports shit. But we saw some decent ones, around. So I was surprised by that.
First store.
I always feel like they're real small. The selection's very small for GameCube.
I picked up Donkey Kong Jr. on the ColecoVision at that store.
There it is. Cool. One of the first games you played, right?
Yeah, one of the first games that I ever played. So I'm happy to have that.
So your very first video game experience, you knew Mario was the bad guy, right? Because he's
I never thought about that.
Because he's evil.
That's why you're a Sega kid.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I was like, you knew him as a villain.
What you're all about, buddy.
Yeah, you're like Mario. Mario fucking kidnapped Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong Senior. He's bad. He's evil. So you knew Mario as the evil Mario before you knew him as the good one.
Yeah. So then we went from there to. The next store was called. We went to Disc Replay. Yep. So
you ever been to Disc Replay?
Love that place.
I was gonna say you've never been there, right, Jeremy? It's only in Detroit. You don't.
Gosh, I love that place.
It's only in Michigan. Yeah,
I haven't found anything there in a while, but
we went to Disc Replay. I haven't been there for a while, but I did. I bought some stuff there.
It was a good one.
Did you get anything there, John?
No, I didn't buy anything, but I sold a bunch of stuff there.
Oh yeah. You tried to sell them some empty DS cases.
Yeah, that was funny. So I had a box of DVDs that my parents gave me. So I was selling a bunch of those, and then some stuff from my grandma's house, trying to sell some of that. And then I've mentioned the past couple weeks on the show, I've been going through my stuff, and like I found some games that my ex had, and so there's just stuff like a bunch of cat games and Style Savvy. So I just I had no interest in keeping these, and so I went to sell them, and then realized I didn't have the game in any of the boxes. So I handed everything over to the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, these were all empty."
Also, like GameStop.
Well, it was like, it was like where are the games, son? Did you look for them?
It's a key card.
Yeah, yeah. It's a download code. You gotta put it into the DS internet that doesn't exist anymore.
Right. I think I know where they are. Yeah,
I just think it's funny. I think it's funny that you have the games separated from the cases. That they're not.
I think they're in the DS carrying case.
Oh, okay.
I think I put them all in there. Yeah,
because you don't have a DS, right? So it wouldn't be. I don't know.
I've got a DS and I've got a 3DS carrying case still. So I think they're all in the 3DS carrying case.
Hope so.
Yep.
So we didn't get those, but yeah, you did sell. What, some DVDs or?
Yeah, I sold all the DVDs. Got $22 for those, which was pretty good. Yeah. From there, we went to another one. We went to another store. Which
hold on. Did you get anything from? Did you get anything from Disc Replay?
Nope.
Because I did.
You did.
And I haven't talked about what I got from Disc Replay yet.
What'd you get?
I spent so much money there. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
This is what I got. I got Star Wars: The Clone Wars lightsaber duel on Wii for $2.
Whoa.
I got the Star Wars Clone Wars game. It was $2. I was like, hey, I never played this one. I'll try it out. Maybe I'll have to do a games my mom found for it in the future. Who knows?
Yeah, get ready to waggle.
We do a lot of crappy Star Wars games on there, so it might be. I might need it in the future. I don't know. I always was curious about it just because it was motion aiming, lightsaber fighting, or whatever. And for $1.99, you know what? I'll try it out. Why not? But the ones that are even better here, prepared. I decided that I didn't have enough Tony Hawk games, so I bought some more Tony Hawk games. I bought Tony Hawk's Proving Ground for Wii for, once again, $2. Don't listen to this.
That's so cool.
Don't listen to this $4.99 thing. This is not right. For $1.99 right here, $2 for Tony Hawk's Proving Ground. Because I was like, maybe I can find one of those Tony Hawk games that I never played. And $2 is a great price to me. But with even a better price,
$2 is a great price.
It's actually higher, but I bought it anyway. I bought Tony Hawk Project 8 for the PlayStation Portable for $15. So I'm excited to try this out because I like the PSP.
You don't have a Tony Hawk on PSP, do you?
I don't. I don't have any Tony Hawk PSP games. They did have the Tony Hawk Underground Remix, which was like PSP exclusive, but it was like $30, and this was half the price. And I've never played Tony Hawk Project 8 before. And, ever since like Tony Hawk 3 and 4 came out, I've seen people online being like, well, Project 8 was really the good one. And I'm like, you're lying. You're a liar. That's not the good one. But you know what? Let's find out and see if they're
You're going to find out for yourself.
Yeah, I get to find out for myself. And that was my disc replay games. I got 3 games. I got 3 games for less than $20. So, it's not a bad deal at all.
Next store we went to, it wasn't a very big store. It seemed like a pretty small kind of mom and pop operation, but it was a nice place.
What was it? What was it called?
Gameplay,
yeah.
Gameplay Livonia.
Gameplay Livonia, yep. Yeah, but we opened the door, and here's the photo that Trey took.
I put it on Slack. Yeah, there was a giant. There was this
it was over 6 feet tall. Like it was
giant scary Mario in the.
I think it was a little taller than me.
Is it a statue?
No, it's
like a big
stuffed Mario.
It's like
giant.
Yeah, it's like a human-sized stuffed Mario, but it's like 8 feet tall or something. It's huge.
Yeah, so I'm 6'6". It had
That's a huge human.
Yeah,
it had a good probably 3 inches on
it's
me.
Super Mario. It's when he gets the giant mushroom, when he gets really big.
It's for those listening. I'm certain it's not an official Mario of any kind. It's like a homemade thing, but it's massive, and it's I don't know. It looks like the Mario that you would win at the county fair, like the knockoff Mario that was hanging up above the skee ball.
Yeah, we should have asked. We should have asked them where they got it from, because here. Well, this is probably too bright, but yeah,
here's the Luigi.
Here's a Luigi head,
but just the head. There was no body for Luigi.
A beheaded,
just the head.
Somebody took Luigi's head off and just stuck it on the top of a shelf with other games.
Luigi.
I was like, Luigi, what happened? What happened to you?
Yeah, I didn't find anything there. Trey didn't find anything there.
Had you seen this We're Back the Dinosaur Story game, Jeremy, on Super Nintendo? Did you know that exists?
Mm-mm.
That they had I sent a picture to Jess to ask if they played it.
Oh, wait. Yeah. I knew about that because I remember seeing it in the Game Genie instruction manual.
I saw it selling for $40 at Disc Replay. In the case, with the cardboard case and all that.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I was like,
Did you buy it?
No, but I didn't know that they had that. That was a game. I didn't know it existed. I mean, I didn't even know
it was a movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know about the movie. Well, I didn't know about the movie until Jess told me about it. Actually, I'd never seen it before, but they watched it, and you had quoted it before on the podcast. Also, Jeremy had. I remember that. Yeah. You said that was like one of our early episodes. I said like we're back, and you said a dinosaur story. So,
right. I don't know if I ever actually watched it.
And Jess filled me in on the joke because I didn't know. Because it was like a Spielberg movie or something, right? That they put a bunch of money into, but it like tanked, right? Like it was a box office bomb.
Yeah,
something like that. I heard about it on 30-20-10 later, but
box office poison.
Yeah, but it didn't do very well. It's from what I heard, but I guess it was a hit to some kids liked it. I know Jess and their brothers watched it a lot.
There's no Ferngully.
Sure, I don't think I've seen that one either. But what was the game? Yeah, we went to the gameplay what it was called. Gamesters. What was that one called?
Gameplay.
Gameplay. Somebody called in and asked for the Red Dead Undead edition. That was fun.
Oh.
The Undead Nightmare.
It was like so random, yeah.
And he's like, yo, you got it? I'll be right over.
Wow.
So, just thought it was funny. They're very excited about it. Well, they didn't really know exactly what they were asking because the guy called in and said, like, I want Red Dead 2 for PlayStation 3. And the guy's like, well, that game doesn't exist. So
yeah.
Are you sure that's what you mean? He's like, well, what do you have? He's like, well, there's Red Dead 1. He's like, well, I want the one with the zombies. He's like, oh, Undead Nightmare. He's like, yeah, that one. He's like, do you have that? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'm coming over. It's just a funny random thing to call about. It's like, do you got a Switch? You can get the game with Red Dead 1 on Switch.
Yeah.
It's on sale a lot, you know. You can get it for like $20. I don't know what they're selling that for there, but I did find I found the Deadpool game, which was a game that I kind of wanted to get for PS3, but it was $50. It was more expensive than
expensive, yeah.
I'd get it for 20, but it was not that low. But it was one that I had looked for, and I was kind of looking around for that WWE 2K18 game for Switch 1 because apparently you can play it now on Switch 2, and I saw it once when I was at a used game store with John Wedgeworth, and I didn't get it, and I regret it. I should have got it. Because now it's selling for like $60, like even just the card. So because it got delisted and all that stuff. But yeah, after that we went to the Taku place, right?
Yeah, retro Taku. Yes, that's my favorite store around here. They got a lot of interesting stuff, rare stuff, expensive stuff. They have the Seattle Mariners DS.
Oh yeah,
one that was like only sold at the stadium.
It was $1,000.
Yep, 1,099. Yep.
You do remember you get 2 screens, so.
Well, that's true.
So it's 500 per screen there. Yeah. So it's a deal. Actually, we should have got it.
Dang it!
Spend all my money in my bank account on that thing right now.
It comes with an autographed copy of Ken Griffey Jr.'s Rookie.
Well, I might. That might be worth it, right? I did see Ken Griffey Jr. on Game Boy, and I thought for a second about getting it, but I didn't. I forget which place I saw it at, but you know, they kind of had it in like that card, like kind of how I have my Game Boy games and like a booklet and like the baseball card holder type thing. I saw Ken Griffey Jr. in there, and I was like, I didn't look at how much it was, but I thought about it for a second because I do have the Ken Griffey Jr.'s, both of the Super Nintendo games and the 64 games. So should I get the Game Boy ones? I mean, I love that first Super Nintendo one. It was a soundtrack by what's his face? The Fallen, Jeff Fallen, the one that died.
Oh, really?
Did the soundtrack of Ken Griffey. Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. At least the first one, the one that I played the most on Super Nintendo, was on the soundtrack for that. You can hear it if you listen. You know, you can feel it. You know, kind of has that. That's the same sort of vibe as like Spider-Man and the X-Men and like Terminator 2. He also did that one.
Well, I picked up one game at Retro Taku. Another ColecoVision game, Time Pilot.
Oh, cool.
Which this is another one that I had as a kid. So I guess I'm now officially trying to recreate my ColecoVision collection.
What do you do in Time Pilot? What is it like?
Time Pilot is like gameplay wise it's comparable to Asteroids, but it's it's better. It's full color and faster and all that. Yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, you travel through time, and I forget exactly like what triggers that, how that works, or if it's just.
I've played it. You are definitely a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.
I've played it because they had the arcade version at the record store in Champaign for quite a while. I don't know what ever happened to that, but you could just play it. It was set on free play, so I played it a few times.
Yeah, they do have it at Galloping Ghost too, which I played it there because I owned it as a kid. Yeah, so I've always liked this game. So this will definitely inspire me to actually hook up my Coleco and play these games.
And you even traded in some VHS tapes towards it.
I did. Yeah, I traded in a copy of Fantasia that I got
neat.
from my grandma. So I had a double copy of that, so gave that in, and then some other random movies and stuff.
Tell them how much you got for those 3 tapes.
A whopping 10 cents of store credit each.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was I thought you got like 75 cents each. I thought you got
that
like
was
a
for
quarter.
The whole lot. I got 75 cents for the whole lot.
Yeah, so like a quarter. So a quarter tape, right? Because didn't you give them like 3 tapes?
Well, I gave them 3 tapes, but I also gave them a couple of DVDs.
Oh, I didn't know there were some DVDs thrown in there too.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So yeah, it's even less than I thought. I thought it was like a quarter a tape, which is pretty fun.
So it might actually be less than you could get recycling this stuff, like at a recycling place.
Maybe so. Yeah. So I tried disc replay, and there was a couple that disc replay rejected.
They wouldn't take the VHS tapes.
Yeah, I don't know who would. You got to find something pretty niche to take VHSs, probably.
Well, the retro taco places they were selling VHSs or for VHS tapes for $1 each. So I was like, you're not gonna get you're like 50 cents maybe.
I get anything. Yeah, but even a couple of DVDs, like there was DVDs that disc replay rejected. They said that there was a scratch on them or something, and I was honest with the other place. I said, hey, these have some scratches on them. Take a look. And they still took them anyway for 10 cents or whatever it was. I got 75 cents total. And so, yep, that went toward a purchase of Time Pilot.
There you go. I didn't get to trade anything else at Retro Taku, but I did get in an attempt to write a thing that I did before, which I've talked about on the show before. I don't know if anybody remembers. I was on a thing in Indiana, but it was by Ohio, or like it was right in between like Ohio and Kentucky. And I went to this used place and I bought a copy of Turok Evolution on GameCube. And I was so excited to play it. And I took it home and the disc didn't work. So I bought Turok Evolution again from Retro Taku. But I bought
Does it work?
Well, I don't have a GameCube here, so I can't. I mean, I asked them. I was like, it works, right? Because there was they kind of had their own little like video game museum thing in the back where they had like a Dreamcast hooked up with a Power Stone. Power Stone 2 was going, and they had like a PlayStation 1 with Tony Hawk 2, and they had like 64 with like Mario Kart 64 on there that you could play, and they were all these like systems out. And I was like, if there's a GameCube there, I'm going to ask him if I could just go and just put it in the GameCube and just press it on and just see if it starts, because the other one I had just wouldn't start. But I asked him, I was like, is there a guarantee or whatever? And they said, yeah, they're like, even if you don't like it, you can bring it back within like 120 days or something like that, which is like a long time. So whatever.
What about if you don't live there?
Well, I'd have to send it to John, I guess. Well, because the other place that I bought it from in Kentucky, I called them and I said, hey, I bought a Turok Evolution from you. It doesn't work. Can I send it back to you? And they just refunded me my money, and they let me keep the game. So that's why I bought it without a case, because I already have a case at home. Because I could get it with a case for $20, but I got it without a case for $12, so I could save $8.
That's pretty.
And
cool.
I could just take it home and put it in my Turok Evolution case that I already have. So I can finally get to play Turok on GameCube, which I have not played, but I always kind of wanted to, because I like Turok. So there we go. And I like Turok so much that I bought.
I like Turok too.
That I bought another Turok game. I bought Turok for PS3, which I also have not played before, for the same price, for $12. So I upped my Turok games that I own. I have physical. I have 5 now because I only had Turok 1, 2, and Rage Wars, and now I have the GameCube game and the PS3 game. So excited to try those out. Not to mention Turok 1 through 3, which I have on Switch also. The Night Dive versions. But Turok games are fun. I wish they were making a good one and not that stupid multiplayer looking one that we saw at the Video Game Awards.
Oh, right.
Which nobody was excited about. Where they were like, oh, new Turok. And they're like, oh, wait, no, I don't want that. Make a different one. But that's it, right? That's what we did for our video game stuff.
That's what we did. I gave you a couple of things.
Oh, yeah. It's still in the car. I didn't want to, yeah. I mean, I guess I was going to say I could mention another episode and I could show it on the Patreon video or whatever. Sure. One of them is like a big metal poster, and I was already carrying a bunch of stuff into the room, and I just didn't want to carry it because I already had I had like my computer bag that had my Switch 2 in it and the computer, which I forgot actually. I forgot in the car and I had to go get back and get it. I just didn't want to carry a whole bunch of shit because every time I've come to the room, I've had so much shit. Like last night, I was carrying like 5 bags from the grocery store or whatever, and I was like, I'll leave it in the car. You can see it. That's for next week. That's our next week on. You could see the extra stuff that I got from John. But thank you.
Hardly wait.
But yeah, it was cool to see each other in Michigan. Yeah. I'd never. I've worked close to you before, but I didn't really have time to make the drive or didn't have any days off or whatever. But I happened to have today off, so I could go and hang out. And I got over there at like 2 p.m. and we hung out till around
we had a good amount of time,
9:30 or so Eastern time. So, we got like a good 7.5 hours or whatever of chill time. But we did get to play some games.
We did.
We played a little bit of 2-player UFO 50 because I was like, John, you got to play this game.
Oh, you got to try
awesome
2-player
game.
I haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah, the only thing that I don't like about UFO 50, and I'm sure you've noticed this as well, but it's more annoying for 2-player, is that whenever you turn the game on, you always have to resync your controller. If you notice that, Jeremy, like even if you put it to sleep and then bring it back on, it's even worse for 2-player because whenever you pick 2-player, you have to resync like 2 controllers. So if you accidentally pick 1 player, you got to resync both of your controllers again to do 2 players every time you pick a multiplayer game. So that sucks. But we played Fist Hell. We played like the
nice.
Double Dragon beat 'em up, which is hard. That's a hard game. You only get like one
really
life. You know, you only get one life, and if you're playing 2-player and you continue, it steals life from the other character. So you'll lose a part of your life bar if whoever's playing with you continues.
Oh, you
which
can't
I
just
did.
do the chain thing where as long as someone's alive, the other one can come back.
No, yeah. No, I mean, well, you can get some of your health back, I guess. But yeah, we got to the train level, which I think was like the second level, but I don't know. We didn't get very far, but it was fun to play still. I just wish it was not so hard.
I like that soccer game. That was fun.
Yeah, we played the soccer game. Do you remember which one that one is? It might
soccer
be
kick club
like
or something.
Soccer, or it's like kind of like Bubble Bobble.
Kick club is what it's called.
Yeah, that one's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like Bubble Bobble, like where it's like one screen. And if you play 2-player, you actually have to share the soccer ball. You only get one soccer ball, but you can kind of kick. You kick it against the walls, and you got to hit all the characters. And there'll be like fries and drinks and stuff that you can collect. It'll give you extra points and whatnot. But that one was fun. We played that through a few levels. Played that 2-player. And I think John, we were like about to leave, and I was like, "Oh wait, there's more. There's more." No, because I was like, "You got to see here. Look at Mortal. Watch this Mortal once." So I showed you a little bit of Mortal in there.
That was cool.
Yeah, Mortal's so cool.
And we also played that. What's the game? The game that's like kind of like Metroid, or it kind of feels like Metroid, or like Kid Icarus, where you're like constantly going up and there's the spikes under you that move with you. You know that one?
It's in the top row. It was toward the right.
It's
character looks like Samus.
Yeah, it's I forget what I think it's not Velbris. It's like I actually confused it because there's Valbrace, but there's also Velbris. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Velgris, yeah.
Yeah, Velgris. I think it's Velgris is the one that we played. It's really hard, and you just go. I mean, it's like Metroid, but it's not like Metroid. It's like you like go up and you want to get as high as you can, but there's spikes under you, so if you fall, you'll die, and then it'll regenerate differently. So it's kind of like a roguelite, like that sort of thing. We kind of played around with that a little bit. I forget which game it was, but there's a Metal Storm game in there. Have you played that? Well, you played all of them, right, Jeremy? There's one that's
I played them all, but there's some that I might have already or I might have only played for like a few seconds.
Because I didn't put it in my notes, but I discovered this game that's like Metal Storm, where you can it's like almost exactly the same, where you can swap the gravity, where you can flip upside down and go from side to side. And I was like, wow, this is like almost exactly like Metal Storm, minus the like weapon upgrades and stuff that you could get. But I was like, that's cool. Somebody else remembers that game, that game that I loved.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a pretty lengthy game if you want to try to get a lot of time out of it.
I fucked around with those golf games that you mentioned last week. I played Golfaria and Pin Golf. Golfaria is like the top-down one. Kind of reminds me of like the Kirby golf game from Super Nintendo. Like just kind of the way you control it.
Dream Course.
And you try to get the Dream Course, where you try to get from one spot to another. What was the other one? Pin Golf. Pin Golf reminds me of Curse to Golf, which was a Switch game. It's basically 2D, and you try to get from one spot to another, but there's like bumpers and stuff that'll stop you on the way. I made it all the way through the 18 holes, but I got like plus 20. I did terrible. I did not do good at all. But it was fun to play. What sucked. I like golf games, but I also like golf games where you can like save after every hole. Instead of trying to go through the whole thing, getting getting birdies every time, which is difficult, especially when you don't know the courses. But I thought that game was cool. I played Alphazar's Hat. That was like the top-down shoot-'em-up game. Kind of reminded me of
like Pocky and Rocky.
Kind of reminded me of like Smash TV too, sort of, I guess. But yeah, more like Pocky and Rocky probably. But I played through the first level of that. But the game I've been playing the fucking shit out of, which I cannot put down, is Grimstone. Like I mentioned.
Oh yeah, the RPG.
I mentioned it a little bit last week that I just started playing it, but I've gone like super hardcore into it. It's been the only thing I've been playing.
Oh yeah, from your notes, you're further than me now.
I don't know if I call myself the Teeth Lord because I've actually reached the highest amount of teeth that you can have. I have 100,000 teeth, and you can't get any more after that. So,
were you a shark?
I don't know. Yeah, there's a trick in the game. I've actually been reading guides because this game doesn't tell you anything about anything, and it's it doesn't tell you what items mean. So I was like, what the fuck does this mean? So I found this pretty extensive guide on Reddit that I've been using for it, but it's I don't know what it is about it. It's like the right amount of hard, but it's not too unfair. I put it in my notes. It's kind of like it seems like it's a combination of like Earthbound, Final Fantasy, and Dragon Quest. Like it's got parts from all of them. Like there's a part where you find demons pretending to be nuns, where you have to use a mirror to show them that they're not nuns. It's the exact same thing you do in Dragon Quest 3. Like you do the same thing with the mirror for for the emperor who's like being impersonated by a demon, like same sort of thing.
I am so I'm definitely not as far as you. I'm just past the when you fix the bridge.
Oh, okay. So you know the town next to that, Santonio, or Santonio or whatever it's called. You know how there's a bank in there? Have you tried depositing any?
Oh yeah, I've been putting like I'll go shopping and get whatever I need, and then I put the rest of my money in the bank.
Oh, okay, so because that's how I got 100,000 teeth was from the bank.
I've got at least 10,000 in there, maybe not.
Yeah, because the bank will like give you interest, will give you 2% interest after every battle that you do.
Oh,
so
really?
Every time you fight somebody, you get 2% interest. So
I saw there was interest, but I didn't understand how it worked.
So once I figured that out, I was like, holy shit. So I just put a bunch of teeth in the bank, and I'll take the train back to San Antonio whenever I need to buy new stuff. And I bought all of the equipment for like every town. Oh yeah, you haven't fixed the train yet?
No.
Oh well, there's a train that you can travel between. You can kind of like
quick save,
or whatever you call it. You can pay like 80 teeth or whatever, depending on. I think it's like 60 to 80, depending on the length. There's only 3 or 4 places you can go in between, but you can take a train from one to another and get your stuff maxed out like that. I forget what I've done so much that I don't remember what all the stuff was. There was this one town that I went to. There's like one where it's like overrun by monsters, and you have to kill one of the monsters by the sheriff station. And you can get him an item and give it to him, and then he'll leave. But if you beat him, you get like 6,000 experience points or whatever. And I beat him.
Oh, yeah.
I actually fucking beat him, and I leveled up like 2 times for all my characters. So I've been trying to do all the shit, and I think my character is getting pretty strong. I have Lee and Anne and Umbra and Rufus are my characters. Rufus is the dog, and Rufus is the best boy, as I have on the notes. Because if you can find all the dog treats, you can like super OP Rufus, where Rufus will hit like 20 damage, or will hit like 200 damage, like on the regular, and you don't have to do the timing thing with the dog because it's a dog. It attacks on its own. You don't control it anyway. So there's a higher percentage of you getting like a higher attack and all that stuff. Anyway, I've
got
fallen
Pearl,
into the weeds.
Lee, Umbra, and Anne.
So we're pretty close. We have like the same team minus one person.
And Pearl's the one that uses shotgun.
Yeah, I don't have anybody that uses a shotgun, so I did feel like I love shotguns, but that gives me another reason to want to go through it again and pick a different team.
They might learn how to eventually because they like gain skills when they level up.
Sometimes. Yeah, I don't think they do though. Like I looked at but
that's right. You're looking at like a guide.
Yeah, but Anne has some pretty has some really good buffs if you know how to get them. Like there's a town where you go to where she used to be a dancer, and if you destroy like the pimp guy that was there, if you kill him. You'll get the dancers there will teach you an old dance that you knew, and it like really raises the attack level of everybody like for the whole battle, and that really helps a lot too. And you'll get like spells for Umbra that are really super powerful too. I don't know if you got it yet, but Umbra, you get to talk to animals in the world, and every time you talk to them, they will give you an option of 2 different spells that you can learn.
Oh yeah. I didn't know that was Umbra's. Yeah. Oh, I guess I knew that because that's who.
And also Umbra. The Umbra witches from Bayonetta. That's why I was
right.
Oh, that's yeah. Oh, and I don't know if you noticed all the characters they use they them pronouns for everybody in the game too. They all refer to them as they instead of.
I think I did notice that.
So I thought that was cool too. Progressive for
not just the player character.
All the characters are they say they for all of them. Even if they look femme or not or whatever. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you'd like it. This was the first game that I played a lot, and then like I said, I got kind of far in it, and then got distracted by other games. But I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it too, and I've got more of a reason to try to catch up or whatever.
Yeah, it's really been the only game I've been playing on UFO 50. I'll turn it on and I'll just play that game, but I like it a lot, and I really want to see it to the end. I mean, it's long, like it's very long. Like I was looking through the guide, and I was like, damn, you got to do a lot of shit in this game.
Oh, I guess I don't have that much. I have. Wait, what is yield? Is yield like what you've made so far, or?
Oh, what do you mean? Like
It says balance and yield in the bank.
Oh, yeah, maybe the yield is how much you made. I didn't know exactly what it meant, but last time I checked the bank, I had 100,000 teeth, and that's the largest amount you can have.
Oh yeah, I have 6113. I guess I don't have as many as I thought I did.
You got you got 6,000.
Yeah,
that's still not bad though.
I'm early in the game, and I've bought all the armor and stuff.
Honestly, once you get past the bridge, like if you go straight north, you'll get a lot of teeth from all the guys that you fight there. You'll get a pretty good amount of experience and teeth and all that. So that's a good place to grind if you're trying to do that. But
I'm trying to get all the teeth.
Yeah, but I mean, I like it a lot. Even though the timing battle thing does kind of annoy me because I'm not very good at it at stopping the thing at the right spot, to get criticals and all that stuff. But you can get a spell for Anne called Focus, where her eyes poof up, and it makes the red bigger, so it makes it easier for you to get criticals.
Does that only work for Anne, or can she cast it on other people?
She's the only one that can use it that I have, but there are other characters that can use it. They're just not the ones that I have in my party. And each character has their own specific story in every, in various towns, you can find like this extra thing and they'll get a specific special spell if you do that story or whatever. And some of them are timed, like some of them you can miss. So you got to be careful. But yeah, no, it's a great game. Like I said, on this, the guy with the camera guy I was talking to on the shoot was really into it too. And he said he doesn't even like RPGs, but he like loves Mortal 1 and 2. And he said like he's been doing nothing but playing UFO 50. He's like, I wish I could play it all the time. I was like, it's just cool to see, everybody loving UFO 50. It's a really stellar game.
I think the Switch is the perfect place for it. Like they were smart to like attach it there first.
Oh yeah, it's so.
Well, I mean, as far as consoles go.
Yeah, it definitely fits the Nintendo fan, and like I said, he said it's a gamer's game. It felt like the ultimate gem of gaming and all that.
It tracks like everything you're doing too. Like if you want to see your stats, like it's crazy at tracking your stats. I guess Donkey Kong is as well, but
I guess I got like an achievement or whatever for Grimstone. I got one for getting all my characters to level 10. You get an achievement for that.
Oh, cool.
Where you get a cow that you can put in the garden.
Oh, right.
If you fucked around with that at all. You can get.
I haven't really like fucked around with it, but I've seen that I have some decorations. So I've actually beaten 2 games in the collection, or I've seen the credits for 2 of them. In that sense, and I already talked about doing the point and click one, but I did Waldorf's Journey this week. Actually, I did it just a little bit ago.
Oh, I don't think I played that one.
It's just a one-screen thing. If you can finish it, then you beat the game.
Oh, nice. Oh, I played at Tactics also. I kind of like that one, even though it is a tower defense game, but I like it. I like the way it works. Have you played that one with the different classes where they keep moving and you got to move them in a line?
Oh, that one's tough.
I thought that one was really fun. I got through like the first 10 levels of it.
Yeah, that one's tough.
But you got to pay attention, if you're not. I was trying to do it while I was editing, and I needed to just focus on the game. It's like when I was playing Heretic and I wasn't blinking at all, and my eyes were like super dry because I'm just, so engrossed by killing demons all the time.
You can't sleep when you're a heretic.
You can't. You gotta destroy those demons.
Real quick, guys, I think I'm gonna have to get going. I'm starting to crash. I gotta get up in like 4 hours.
Yeah, you gotta get up. Yeah, you told me you had to get up at like 5. So
yeah.
Did you want to finish talking about your stuff?
Yeah, let me tell you 2 more things that I found at Costco.
Oh yeah, go ahead. We're also at like the break mark about, so we can do the Gamescom stuff without you, I guess.
Yeah. So I found at Costco, one thing was a giant Bowser, which was pretty big. It was like maybe just shy of like 2 feet tall, like a sizable, hefty plastic Bowser. And I think it has some effects like its mouth lights up, or simulating fire and all that.
Is it like from the movie?
No, it's the actual like proper Bowser. So I'm thinking about it. This is pretty cool. Having a giant Bowser, sure.
You want a 2 feet?
I didn't know there were Bowsers that big.
You want a 2 feet tall Bowser, or almost?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's like $70, so it's a lot. But I think it looks like it's something of quality.
It's a lot of coins.
It's the same price as Kirby Air Riders. I mean,
it's not as much as the next thing.
Get more enjoyment out of it.
At Costco now, they're selling Stern pinball tables. It's a I found a Star Wars Stern pinball table at
And
Costco.
these are full scale pinball
These are
tables, right?
the full real deal pinball tables, not a Nat Games or not an arcade one up pinball table. The real deal.
It's not a screen. It's actually like working mechanics and whatnot, right?
Working mechanics. Yep. If you know Stern, their latest pinball tables. Yep. I know there's some out there like that one modular system that's like mostly a screen.
Yeah.
You can change it out to different games. It's not that. It's a real actual full pinball table, and the price reflects it. It's $4,800.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
it's a real
crazy.
It's a really real pinball machine, though.
You better be able to drive that at home afterwards for that price.
I mean, it's probably as far as the price of regular pinball machines, though. That's pretty cheap, right?
Oh, I'm not saying the price is crazy. I'm saying it's crazy that it's at Costco.
Yeah,
you can just walk into Costco and pick up like a bag of apples and a Star Wars pinball table.
Hey,
know your clientele, Costco.
I mean, we're supposed to get a Costco membership at some point. I can't wait to get to see all the beauties of Costco.
Oh, you don't
sounds
have
like a dystopian.
Well, we were Sam's members, but we were going to switch. We were going to switch from one to the other just because we didn't know. We thought there wasn't a Costco next to us, but there is. So we're going to switch from one to the other. So I want to go there and see the stacks of Switch 2s that they have supposedly. I've heard they have a lot of them.
Well, yeah, that's about it for me.
I did want to mention a comment that we got just because it was directed at you, John.
Sure.
We got a comment from Ginzo 3000 on our basically through our Patreon. It was on one of our videos, and he says John is beyond correct. Cedar Point's Mean Streak was a great wooden coaster, but brutal on the body. We would save that one for the end. Otherwise, your body hated you for the rest of your day.
It's a terrible ride. I know that they fixed it. They fixed it since then. They've like added steel to make it smooth and all that. I don't even care. It ruined my trip to Cedar Point one day. It was just over. So I'll never ride that roller coaster again.
That's fair.
I'm a roller coaster guy. I love roller coasters. I love fast, tall.
Some would say a tycoon.
I might be a tycoon even. I might even sit there and design them on my computer. But no. I'm never riding that again. So thank you for agreeing with me because I needed some vindication on that. It's a terrible coaster. No one should ride it.
And we also got a congrats on the 100,000 downloads. So thank you for congratulating us. Which it's higher now than that, of course, since last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, why don't we take a break there? And you want to say your goodbyes, John?
Yeah, and I'll see everybody next week. Chibi Robot just came out like minutes ago, so
yeah,
I can say the same old things that I've been saying about it, but I'll save my full review for next week when I get hours upon hours upon hours of it over the course of this week.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it. It looks very nice. It looks great on Switch.
I'm excited to play it and then have, no matter what, I'll just have better context when you talk about it next week.
Oh yeah. The 10 minutes that I played just before the show, it just got me in all the feels and reconfirmed my long held memory of this game. There's such polish all over it, and man, I can't wait to just dive in again.
Yeah, it's definitely
more on that next week.
Definitely got a feel to it. Like when you get into it, you can tell that it's got a plan here. They're not just throwing shit together. Like it's definitely got a lot of craftsmanship or whatever you would call it in the form of video game development. But all right, cool. Well, Stay tuned. We'll be right back to talk about more games we've played and all the news from Gamescom.
Sounds lovely. Hey, you.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, you. Subscribe to our Patreon to hear our bonus shows, which happen every month.
I'm tired.
Tired of all the big corporate podcasts spoon-feeding you the same old video game news on every single show?
Spaghetti. Ravioli.
Then expand!
With NintenDomain Expansion Pack.
It's us talking about old games that were important to us. It's us interviewing people that we meet at conventions. And heck, it's live shows from those same conventions. It's basically everything you could want that NintenDomain ever made.
Here we go!
And it's just $1 a month.
That's less than a bad indie on the eShop.
It's $12 a year, which is less than Nintendo Switch Online.
Thank you so much for subscribing to our Patreon and supporting NintenDomain.
Just go to patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast and, hey, Mario, let go. Whoa! He's throwing us back to the show.
So long, Bowser.
Patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast.
Game over.
John had to go to bed early, but we're still here and still talking about games. What else have you been doing on UFO 50?
UFO 50, yeah, that's really been all I've been playing this week. I tried loading up Donkey Kong for a little bit, but yeah, I'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, the big thing this week for me was Party House, which I talked about a little bit last week. I was like, I don't understand it, but I hear that it's really addictive once you figure it out, and that is true.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. I remember you mentioning it, but I just haven't. I still haven't seen all of them yet. Like some of them still have dust on them.
Oh yeah, and that one's like in the third row, I think. So you may not have gotten to it yet.
I've seen it. I just have not turned it on yet. I wanted to save. I wanted to save some of that dusting off in case I wanted to capture it or something.
I understand it. Yeah, being more fun that way because to capture it for your videos. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I can always just start under a different profile because I'll definitely use it for my Game of the Year stuff. I really hope not making.
I really hope John buys it. I've been trying to convince him. That's why I sent that. I think it was Nintendo Life to that video about it.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched any of the reviews of it, but
that's okay. You shouldn't.
I hope they. I was gonna say I hope that somebody should do a review on Grimstone just alone. I was looking I was looking at like a tier list that some random person made just because I was trying to just see what the names were because I couldn't remember a lot of the names of the different ones for the notes, and they didn't have Grimstone that high on their tier list. So
some people don't like it. I've listened to a bunch of tier lists because that's
well. I will give it. I mean, it's definitely not. It's hard. It's a hard ass game. It doesn't really.
It's grindy.
You got to grind. Yeah, you got to grind a lot. But it's a lot.
That's why I thought it was a lot like.
There's some unfair.
The first Dragon Quest, like that, reminded me a lot of hanging out around the towns and walking in circles or whatever until you can buy the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it has that, but it also has like the thing from Dragon Quest where you lose like half of your teeth when you die, but you have to have a certain amount for it to be half. Otherwise, it'll just take everything that you have. Like if it's too low, so that's kind of
that's why unfair. That's why I've been using the bank. I wasn't like doing it for a smart reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why that's why the bank and the Dragon Quest games are there too. For whenever you die, you get to keep your money.
So maybe I just had that ingrained in me from 11 and I had forgotten. But yeah, I don't know. I like seeing the number go up.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about when I was playing it because I kind of go back and forth. I'm like, man, it's like I hate this game, or this game is really hard. To where like, oh, hey, my guys are pretty strong now. Like it's all about patience. Is what I would say for Grimstone.
It is.
You gotta be a Jedi about it. You gotta wait, and then eventually your characters will get really cool. You just got to get there.
My favorite thing about RPGs is like finding new towns, like because that's where that's where you usually get your quests and stuff, but also just the atmosphere of making it more like you're in a world because there's all these NPCs you can talk to and stuff. And I like that this like this little gem of a game nestled in here. It's so far I've been to like 3 towns, I think. And I mean, I know I'm just at the beginning. No, I've been to 4 towns, I think. So there's plenty of stuff and like I don't know, people talk about each other and stuff. So there's a bit of character building in that regard as well.
Have you gotten any of have you gotten any like moves with Lee yet? Because you can kind of capture moves from like demons that you fight on the field with Lee.
Is that what study is?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten study to work yet. I don't know what I have to do to make that work.
It's like a percentage thing, like because did you go to the mine? There's like it's like one of the first ones you go to, like the mine where you fight that boss. There's like a boss at the end that's like a giant Alp. You went there, right? It's like
I beat that.
It's in the northwest corner. So there's a guy in there called like Knocker. He's like a demon guy that's like coming out of the ground. And if you study him enough times, like I had to do it a few times, but you get this move called multi-hit, where you can hit a bunch of people at once, which is really important for the game, which they don't really tell you about getting it. But I highly recommend going there and trying to get that move. And also,
I should.
You can get
shotgun.
You can get a move called Leech from the bats that are in there also, where you can suck people's HP out and give it to Lee. But also, it's super powerful and it works good against people who have high defense and all that. Which is one of the most annoying things you'll run into later, is the bad guys who have high defense because you'll get like 1 damage, no matter if you get it in the critical or not. That's why you want to get a lot of those really strong spells from Umbra. Because I've just been getting all the physical spells.
And those are the buffs?
I haven't been doing the buffs. I've been doing the physical spells. Okay. Because those will do a high damage regardless of what the defense level is. So I got like, what was it? Kick was one that I got from, I went to this town and you can give this guy like, whatever, $2,000. He's like, I'll sell you my horse for $2,000. And you pay him and you go to talk to the horse and the horse gives Umbra a spell. And I picked Kick, and the Kick one will do like 300 damage, like regardless of defense level or whatever. So that's how I've been killing people, is with Umbra spells, because Umbra, if you go for all the offensive spells, like you can do some mad damage. There's a gust spell that'll hit everybody for a pretty high damage, and I forget there's another one before that was also really high damage. But yeah, that was how I've been beating those. Really.
So Umbra is a character. So. It's Umbra. Everybody has Umbra, right? No matter who you save, like Umbra is the character that you're saving everybody with, or
no. You cannot get you can get different people every time. Actually, you can play through the whole game with one character if you want to. You can play through the whole game with Lee, or anybody. You can pick just one person and then leave. And I've seen people doing that too. Like I looked at a tier list of like how difficult it would be depending on who you selected and all this stuff.
Wow. See, like, that's what thing that's great about this game. People have done so much research.
There's like so much depth to like this one game, like just the Grimstone alone, like just like all the it's like here's the game, here's how it would probably be the easiest with if you got these characters, or like here's the ones that you don't need to be that good at the time battle with. Like I looked at it where it's like Rufus and some other guys, like it was interesting. Like
this game took 8 years to make. But with 6 different designers.
Oh, for Grimstone or just UFO 50?
Just UFO 50, yeah.
Yeah, it would be. I was talking to John about it, and he was like, yeah, I'd really like to see what the documentary would be about, like the creation of UFO 50 and all that, just because there's so much stuff, put together in it.
But I got to tell you, Party House is like, so they call it a deck builder, if you're going to like hear people talk about it online, that's what they're going to say it is. And I guess it is, but, it's just like any other of these card games where you just got to learn what everything does and how everything affects everything else. And then after a while, you start to figure out how to break it. And the goal is to get like 4 special guests by 25 days, I think is what it is. You get like 24 parties total. But you have to be careful because especially early on, like you always have like a default deck you start with that has a few troublemakers in it, and if 3 of those show up, then the cops show up and cancel your party. You don't make any money or get any skill points from it, which you need to do both of those things to advance in the game.
So it's kind of like a security simulator or something? Like if you're working
kind of
like if you're working the door at a bar, you got to make sure that
it's got a little bit of that to it. I would say,
the trouble people don't get in there because they're gonna cause problems for everyone else. Like that's kind of what I was thinking about when what you're describing it there.
So basically, there's two different types of currency. There's popularity, and that's what allows you to buy more cards, more characters, and there's a limited amount of each one, and each scenario has like a set of like, I don't know if it's like 16 or 20 or something that you can pick from, but there's actually more than that. They'll just show those, whatever that specific group for that scenario. There's 5 different scenarios, and then there's like a random one where it'll just like basically based on a seed. Like if you were using a seed for a Minecraft world or whatever, there's like a seed where you can play like different things. In fact, I found like I just let the game sit and it told me like put in these codes for the seed, and you can try these different modes or whatever, which I haven't done yet, but there's more to it than I've even like scratched the surface of. But I've beaten 3 of the 5 scenarios, and so you getting back to what I was saying, you want to get to where you use your popularity to get enough points where you can invite the special guests, which usually cost like a lot of money or a lot of popularity points. And then you need to get all 4 of them on the screen at the same time, which, based on the randomosity of a deck, the more cards you buy, the less likely the 4 cards you want, are going to show up. So there's just a lot to it. And like certain cards can give other cards extra popularity, or there's like cards that'll just like it's the social climber. Every time she shows up to a party, she gets 1 more popularity point. And it's just really fun to think about, like, if you just kind of put your head in that space, like, it's hilarious that like I just had the security guard kick another security guard out. Like, I don't know, that made me laugh when I did that, when I found out I could do that.
Too many security guards in one room.
Or like the stylist can give themselves a makeover and then they get more popular. I'm like, this is awesome. Like,
wow.
I wish I could just do this all the time. Just give myself a makeover and keep getting, more popular. So like, it's just fun that all these different buffs and the way they work together, but there's still that risk reward because you get more spaces, but you spend your cash, to increase the amount of guests you can bring. So that ups the probability that the bad things are going to show up more often, but also allows you to get more cards on the table at once and, have a higher likelihood of getting the stuff you want on the table. So there's certain cards, like I said, there's like the security guards where you can boot people out, or there's more than one where like, I think there's like a private eye who will like basically go summon a card from the deck and bring it onto the thingy, but you got to pay them $1. And it's all like risk reward. If you think the cops are going to show up, you might not open that door, because if you open the door and someone's there, you're going to lose all of your points for that day. So yeah, it's cool. And like the first scenario is like you got to get 4 aliens to come to your party. So I mean, it's very silly.
I mean, so it's a bunch of like objectives that you have to do, like for different days.
Yeah.
Like
and
it's like this one, do this one, and then
you have 24. You have 24 parties total.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say they get harder because I beat the first 2 scenarios. Like it took me a while to beat the first one because I had to figure out how the game worked. But once I did, I went to the second scenario and I finished it on like my second try. I think I was like, oh, okay, maybe I figured this game out. And I went to the third scenario and I still haven't beaten it. And I've played it multiple times. So eventually I went to the 4th scenario. Same thing happened, and then I was like, fuck it, I'll try it. I'll try the 5th one. I beat that my first try. So I don't think they're necessarily easier at the beginning of the scenarios. It's just there's a lot of the luck of the draw. For instance, like the first couple of hands, you have no way to affect what cards show up. So the cops can show up on your very first hand, and that's all completely RNG whether or not that happens. So I've gotten in the habit of like, if the cops show up the first day, I just reset the game and start it over again because I'm not going to deal with that.
I mean, I mean, if the cops are there, it's game over, right? Like that means it's
one thing is if wait, what is it? How does that happen? Oh, like there's certain guests that will bring other guests with them, and if they show up like last, when you're at capacity, and then like they bring another guest, the fire marshal shows up.
Oh yeah, so I mean, it is kind of like working the door of a bar, because you got to work with capacity and we had I worked security at a couple bars, and we would have that where we would we had a certain amount of people we were supposed to have, but we'd always go over, just to try to. But then there would be they would show up, like the fire marshal people would show up, and we'd have the walkthroughs and all that, and we never got busted for anything. But I've seen that happen many a times, where cops show up, or like the fire department people show up and they want to do the walkthrough and all that.
The whole scenario is just so absurd. Like eventually you're inviting dinosaurs and wizards and leprechauns to your parties. So the absurdity of it all, it just makes it even more fun. And the fact that it was supposed to be made in like 88, like it's got that aesthetic. It's got like the weird like circles and triangles all over the place, like in weird like different colored shapes. It has the aesthetic, and all the characters, they look like they're from the 80s. So that just adds to the charm of it. And if you have like a door guy, you'll get money, but you lose popularity. I thought that was kind of funny. But so they'll like collect $2 from each person that comes in, but you lose a popularity point. And if you can't pay everybody, because like like the stylist and different cards require $1, they require money to perform their service. If you can't pay them, then you lose a bunch of popularity points. It's like they're talking shit about you, so no one wants to hang out with you. I love that too. It's just on such a base level, like it's really fun. I think this game could be a game by itself on mobile, and people would play it.
Yeah, that's part of the big perks of this game, is that there's so many just single games that could just be their own thing. Like I would have easily played $25 for Grimstone just by itself.
Yeah, I don't know if I would for UFO 50, but it's because it would have taken some heavy convincing. Because now that I have been playing it, I'm like, okay, well, yes, I probably would. Because apparently I like card games. Yeah. I like deck builders.
Yep. So it's kind of like the new Balatro. Kind of, yeah.
It's not necessarily a roguelike, but it's got that element. Oh, yeah, I guess it is. It is a roguelike. Never mind.
And I did want to mention that I bought the soundtrack to UFO 50 off of Bandcamp it was for $7. I gave him 10. I always put extra on there. But 331 tracks. That's a meaty ass soundtrack for $7. So if anybody likes the UFO 50 stuff that's been in the background, go pick up that soundtrack. 331 songs. Definitely getting your money's worth there.
That's a lot. Another one I played a lot this week, and I talked about last week, but it was Lords of Disconia. That's the one that's kind of like Advance Wars combined with like
the Pog one,
mini golf or Pogs or whatever. Man, that game's fun, and each scenario is like, it'll like the map's different, and then on top of that, they start introducing things like there was one scenario where they didn't give me any money or any troops to start with. Well, no, they gave me troops to start with, but they didn't give me any money. And so you pretty much are destined to lose your first battle, but if you can win that first battle, then you're probably going to win the whole thing. So it's kind of fun to like have to like surmount like these odds. And I just had to get better at the game, and there's some randomosity to it as well. But so there's 10 scenarios. I'm on the 9th scenario, and the AI of the computer has gotten way too good, and it's pissing me off because they'll like do these crazy like trick shots where they'll hit multiple characters of mine in one turn, and I can only do that if it's random. I'm not that good at planning, but it's really fun. And there's little perks and stuff you can get on the world map that make it to where maybe you'll get to see like one bounce of your puck. So in a way that kind of reminded me of like Peggle or Peglin. So it just reminds me a lot of games that I like, and it's the aesthetic is just so simple, and I keep going back to it, even though it's so fucking hard right now with the computer AI is like turned up all the way on the 9th scenario, I guess. Another one I played this week was Rock On Island, because I finally figured out how to play it right. I didn't know I could upgrade my units, so I wasn't doing that, and so I couldn't get past a certain level. But Now I figured out you can upgrade your units and make them stronger and stronger, and it's just basically a tower defense game. But the other thing I realized that I didn't know last week was that you can walk around and do your own shooting while your tower defense part is doing their thing. So you can actually post up somewhere and just shoot everything as it's walking by you, and that makes it more fun. It's more engaging as a tower defense game when you're actually like involved in the thingies and not just watching it play out. What else? Barbuda. That's the very first game. I actually played a little bit more of it this week because there's a whole YouTube video I watched about why it was a great game and people just didn't understand it or whatever.
Which game?
Actually, Barbuda, the very first one.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about Rock On still.
That was supposedly made in 82 and was like where it all started.
I played the first one. I don't remember what it was like though. Like, because I've done
it's really, really, really slow, and controls are somewhat unwieldy, so it's not a lot of fun to play initially. But
yeah, because I went through the first
chock
line.
full of secrets, and I found out like there's all these secrets in it, like hidden walls or like false walls and stuff like that. And the game started getting a little more fun, but I didn't play a whole lot more of it. But I did get to where I collected a few of the like upgrade items, and as a result, could travel a little further into the game. But it's a tough game, especially the controls are part of the difficulty. You're fighting the controls, much like this other one, which I really want to get into, Mooncat.
Oh, I played Mooncat.
The controls are weird
as
fuck.
I would say, does it get better? Because I really don't like I played it for a little bit and I was like, I don't like these controls. But
the whole point of the game is that the controls are weird, and it wouldn't be very hard if it were the fact that the controls are so weird.
I don't know if this is true or not. I read this from one of those tier lists, but it said that it came from a game jam thing where you had to make a game with only two buttons, right? And that's where like the weird control came from or something, I guess is what they were saying. Like,
that is true.
Inspired.
It was from a game jam. Yeah. A lot of these games were, or at least a few.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that game and I didn't get very far because I was not doing very well.
It's technically
with the weird
a sequel
control.
to Barbuda.
Oh, okay.
The one I was just talking about, I guess. But anyway, it's supposed to be really, really fun if you can get used to the controls, because like not only can you like walk and jump, but you can also like slide and you can like ground pound, and like there's like a dodge move too, which I haven't figured out. But it's all just how you combine the two buttons, like what order you press them in or how you hold them down or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like backwards. So you press like left to go right, and then you'll press like A to go left. But if you press like left and A, you like jump, and then you press it.
See, the way I play is I use the D-pad as one button and the face buttons is the other, and I just like have my finger on the left, the left on the D-pad, and then whatever it is, A on the control pad, and I just like use those two.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't have to go left that much, but it's just, I don't know. I was having a hard time with it.
I played a lot of Seaside Drive this week just because it's really, really pretty, and it's really fun once you start like getting the hang of it. Because that's the one, like it's towards the end of the list, but it's like it's a shooter, but it's also got like an element of like outrun to it a little bit, and like you power up your weapon by drifting, and you're like firing, and you have like
I played
270-degree fire or whatever. Yeah, it's cool. It's really pretty and it's fun, and it's just, I don't know if it gets deeper or whatever, but I didn't find it to be all that deep. It's just like a reaction-based game, and you can just kind of watch all the cool visuals while you're trying to dodge all the bullets getting shot at you. And what else? Oh, Pilot Quest. That's the idle game that's based on one of the characters, from this universe, and you like crash landed, and you need to like harvest resources and stuff.
Yeah, that's the one you play as like the guy who's on one of the guys who's on like the front, like the title screen. Yeah. That was actually one of the first games I played. Yeah, and you can make like a garden that like gives you stuff, and you have to find meat and give it to a guy, and then he lets you walk around, and you can kind of walk around for however long before you get killed out there. I kind of like that one, but I didn't play it for that long.
So if you look at the description of the game, one of the things it says is that it was the first game they made that used, because it came out for a new version of the console, the fictional console that this all played on. It was the new version of the console, and it had like a chip in it that allowed them to have like a clock. So this game will like still be accumulating things when you're playing other games.
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
So you kind of got to like set up little like, and nothing's terribly complicated, but you basically need to set up other things to harvest your resources while you're not playing. That way, whenever you boot it up, you've got like all these resources to spend. And I was having a pretty good time with it until it got to the point where it was like, now you need this resource, and I don't even know where to find it. I've never seen it before, so I can't upgrade, I think, further until I get further in the little world where you need the meat to play it. So I'm gonna play more of it this week because it's fun. But the actual like overworld, it's kind of like it's supposed to be kind of like Link to the Past, I think, or just like the first Zelda. And there's like little dungeons and stuff you can go to, and the fact that the time's always counting down, and then whenever you get hit, you lose time. It's really, really stressful because the further you go into the game, you got to go so much further because you don't get to keep anything unless you walk all the way back to the entrance. So every step you take, every second you spend going one way, you got to think about the 1 second it's going to take to walk back. And then on top of that, the enemies are hitting you and they're like taking away your time.
Yeah, it kind of had a little bit of a sort of a Monster Hunter feel in that way, where you got to like, where you got to prepare yourself to go out into the world and you be able to, you know what I mean? It kind of had a little bit of that feel to me, where it's like you do all your shit in the town and then you got to go out and do your stuff, but you got to be able to survive out there, where most of it is building, like what you can do in the monster world or whatever. That's kind of what I got from it.
And the game definitely has points, like, especially where I'm at now, where you just can't play it anymore. Like, you just got to like not play it anymore because you buy the meat off the one character, and you can get more when you're out in the field as long as you bring it back. But
oh yeah, I kind of ran it.
But if you buy all the meat off the character, eventually they're like, well, I don't have any more meat to sell you, and it takes a while for it to like build back up. So you just basically have to stop playing at that point, unless you just want to sit there But I've already got it to where like my resources are maxed out that I can get automatically, and I need to find another resource to like take the machine to the next level. So that's where I'm at in that game.
I wondered about that because, when I first played it, I got the meat. And then I went outside, and then I died in the outside, and then I came back, and there was no meat, and I couldn't leave again. So I was like, what do I do now? And then I think
you just got to come back later.
I just went to another game. I was just like, all right, well, I was like, this game was kind of cool, but now I don't know how to get
Because at the very least, if you really want to play, you can stand there and hit that crystal in the middle 500 times to get the meat, and then you can buy it. So like, there's always a way if you want to just stand there and keep smacking that crystal, you can play. You can keep playing, but that's no fun.
Yeah.
So it's better to just come back later and when things like restock. So that's the whole point of that game. It's silly, but it's kind of fun. Like every once in a while, I'll go back to it and play it for a little bit, and that's the point of that game. But yeah, I've kind of messed around with other games, but yeah, mostly I just want to finish everything in Party House. And I was going to talk a little bit about some other stuff, but I think it's probably too spoilery, so I'm not going to.
Oh,
basically, there's a
UFO
whole
50 stuff.
Yeah, there's like a whole meta game involving all 50 games. But if you haven't heard anything about that, or if you haven't looked into that yet, I don't want to spoil anything for you. And the only reason I know about it is because it got spoiled for me.
Oh,
otherwise, I wouldn't have figured it out by now.
I just remember you saying that beating all of them might unlock more games. That's all I remember from last week's episode.
It's a bit more complicated than that, but also not that bad.
Which sounds like pretty wild because you already got 50 games, and if you could beat all those, and then there's more games, it's like what?
I don't think you have to beat all 50 of them,
get the
functions
cherries
differently,
or whatever, right?
It's basically like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah,
and that's all I'll say. But what I've seen with how that was utilized, and like I said, I kind of let myself go down spoiler territory, and it just the meta game of the whole thing, it just blows my mind, and that's beyond all these games just being good. So what a fucking game. If this isn't in my top 10 this year, then we got some pretty good stuff coming out later.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be in there. That's what I was thinking about, trying to want to capture some stuff and whatever. But I mean, I can always use a different.
This is basically maybe we already said it last week, but it's like they added a new NES Online or a new Nintendo Online system.
Oh yeah, for sure. It feels like an NSO thing, and you even feel like I even found myself thinking that I have to hit like L and R to go back to the menu like you would in the NSO. Like it's kind of like tricked me in that way. I was like, wait, how do I was like, oh, I could just press start. Or like we forgot to mention it. Like John and I, we played. I brought the leverless over just to show him like a little bit of it, you know. And we were playing like Marvel versus. Well, what was it? We were playing the Capcom Fighting Collection 2, and we were just playing like Capcom versus SNK 1 and 2, and like what was it? In the Project Justice, the like school, the high school Japanese game. And you can't even just like press pause and just go to reset. You have to go all the way back to the menu and like restart a game. But at least like UFO, you can just hit reset and just go. It's just the menu seems better, I guess. I missed that because I just wanted to like, just jump to a different character. But I got to like exit the whole game and reload the whole game and then go.
Yeah.
It's those stuff that I miss that you can do in like NSO and in UFO 50. But no, John fucked around with the leverless a little bit. I should have made him talk about it before he left, but I forgot. But he said he liked it. He beat on some people with Ken and Ryu on Capcom vs. SNK 1, and he said he noticed the difference, where he said it felt different versus a controller or whatever. So we did that. But the really cool thing that we should have talked about before he left was John and I, we actually did the game swap thing. We actually did that. Because I wanted I wanted to try it out because we're in the same room together, So I sent both of you invites to my Nintendo family, so you can all be in the same.
Through the Switch. I'll find that.
No, it should be in your email. You should have got an email about it that just says Trey invited you to be part of the family.
In case you can't tell, I haven't checked my email in a few days.
Yeah, I know you're not a big. I figured you're not a big email checker like me. Hey, well, I have to check it because I get a lot of jobs through there. But yeah, it's I sent you an invite, and John hadn't found it either. But we went through, and he became part of the family, and it doesn't have anything to do with price or with the NSO family plan or anything like that. You just have to all be in. It's just a family that you make through your Nintendo account. And we swapped.
But you have to be in the vicinity of each other.
Yeah, we swapped games. I think you have to be in the same. I think you have to be like in the same Wi-Fi or something like that.
Yeah,
because it didn't say like move your system next to each other like it did like with the Switch 1 to Switch 2 transfer or anything like that.
Oh right.
So
it wasn't NFC.
But I couldn't do anything if I wasn't online, so I had to jump onto his Wi-Fi at the house, and then we both opened up our we both opened up our virtual game cards or whatever. And you just pick a game card and you say lend to a family member. And then I picked John, and then John had to receive it. So he has to go to his Switch and say, I'll get this. And then there's a little animation of the game going from my system into his system. And, it does the swap around and all that stuff. But I just wanted to try it out because I've never got to do it.
So wait, what did you trade?
So I lent John the Marvel vs. Capcom collection thing because I didn't think he'd ever buy it.
Oh, cool.
And it's... You can lend it for like 2 weeks and it'll automatically get sent back to you. So I was like, well, I can go for 2 weeks without playing it. I'm not really playing it anyway. And if I play any fighting games, I'll play Street Fighter 6. That's been like the newest one.
Right.
So so I was like, here, I'll lend you the Marvel fighting game. And he's like, well, what do you want? And I was like, well, I don't know. What do you want to give me? And he said, how about Bomb Rush Cyberpunk? And I was like, oh yeah, great. No, I want to play that because that's got 60 FPS on Switch 2 or whatever. So, yeah, he traded me that one. So we traded virtual game cards.
That's really cool.
In the same room. So it's cool. I finally got to try it. I mean, I don't think it... I heard somewhere that once you do it once in person, you can do it online after. I don't believe that, but we can try it. We'll try it and see if it actually works.
I don't believe it either, but that'd be cool.
I don't think that's how it actually works, but I heard that on a podcast. But I don't know if they're right about that. I think that's incorrect.
I wouldn't think it's right.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we did the trading. So... and it showed, I just have to say like, yes, I will borrow this game or I'll receive it. And and it shows it going to my Switch and then it's on my Switch and it shows that it's not, the Marvel game is not on mine anymore. And it says lent out to whoever. So cool. We did that. So next week I will say more.
Cool. Well, I only had one more thing to mention about my week. And that was, well, other than seeing Annihilate, which was fucking cool, but,
super cool.
I got a new controller.
Oh, did you get the new one? Isn't it nice? Isn't it a nice controller?
It is. I like it. It was really fucking expensive.
Oh, speaking of controllers,
but I found it in the wild.
I was gonna say also at John's house, I brought my computer over and I fixed his 8-bit-do. I made it Switch 2 compatible for him.
Oh, cool.
Because his computer doesn't have any USB plugs on it, so it's probably I figured that was why he didn't do it. So I brought over my computer and I just hooked his controller up to the computer and I was just like deet deet and it updated it and we got it going on a Switch 2. So he can use more than one controller now.
So the main reason I like this so far is that I'm less worried about ruining my Joy-Cons now. That's one of the big reasons.
Oh, because
and then also
to play.
Well, yeah, because
Oh yeah, because you can't use any of your. Well, I guess you were using your Pro Controller 1, right? Because you didn't get any of your 8-bit dos to work yet.
I've mostly been using I've still mostly, even though I did have that working, mostly I've been still using the Joy-Cons on the dog bone because it's just I want to play the actual with those joysticks and stuff. So that was the big reason why I got it. Like I said, I seen it in the wild, so I was like, it was at Meyer, and last time I was there a few weeks ago, they had 2 or 3, and I was like, maybe later. And then this time around, they just had one, and I looked around, I couldn't find anyone to sell it to me, and then I ended up talking to this one dude who also was looking for an electronics person, and then this other person wanted one, and it was funny because they were both buying Roku sticks. They were 2 separate
what to watch TV on your.
Yeah.
I didn't think people bought those anymore. Or they
were both both of them were my Roku stick stopped working, so I'm buying a new one. And they were just different people that didn't even know each other. And then I was I want that controller over there. But yeah, you like it. It hooked up right away. It wasn't at all a pain to get it to sync with the console. And I've only had it run out of battery once since I got it last week, and I just plugged it into a battery pack that was sitting on my coffee table, and it charged it right up, and I like it.
It goes for
nice.
It goes for 8 hours or something before you have to restart it. So
the sticks are so
or
nice.
You have to charge it. I like the way it feels, but I still
honestly it could be a little bigger. I will say that.
For the UFO 50, I still use my 8-bit do just because I love the D-pad.
That makes sense.
Well, because
those games are more tuned to that sort of style.
I use the D-pad for it, and if I'm using the D-pad, I want to use the Super Nintendo style controller. So I've been using this one for UFO 50, but I do use, I use my I'll use the Pro 2 for Donkey Kong or for more 3D based stuff where I'll use
and like I said earlier, I was going to say I didn't really play any Donkey Kong. I just played a little bit just to try out the Switch 2 Pro controller with it. It felt fine. It was cool. But I think mostly the big thing is that I can turn the Switch on and off. Well, you can turn it off with anything, but I can finally turn the Switch on with the controller.
Yep. Well, I mean, you could do it with your Joy-Cons before, but
well, that's right. So that's a big reason why I was using them. And then also another reason this is great is because I can have one charging while I'm using the other. So I always have a controller.
And now you can plug headphones into it too if you want.
Yeah, and I tried that the other day. That was cool. That was fun. Especially with
I do it sometimes.
Using tabletop mode in the bedroom. I'll set it on I'll set up the Switch on the Switch 2 on the coffee table. And the screen's big enough now that I don't think the Switch 1 screen was big enough. Maybe it seemed that way at first, but very quickly it was way too small, and now finally the screen on this thing is enough for it to be a console to be as a portable when it's in tabletop mode. It just looks so good, at least for one player games. So I do that in the bedroom, and then I throw I put my headphones in, and it was great. So cool.
I'll still do that sometimes. I don't know. The other day I just wanted to. I brought my headphones up and I played Heretic with the headphones on, and I played was it We Love Katamari or whatever with the headphones on, because then you can hear all the music better and all that stuff.
I do find it odd they don't have a microphone in the controller. Maybe some people prefer that, but
you got to buy headphones with the microphone on them like I did right here. Get these babies.
That would make it perfect, because then game chat would just be so much more of a it'd be more of a thing. Because already now with this, I'm more likely to try out multiplayer game chat again with it, because I can use headphones
Yeah, headphones work so much better. I've actually
and it's
been
not Bluetooth.
I don't really use Game Chat a lot, but
No, I only ever used it that time with you.
yeah, I've been using these headphones just because I bought them, and I was like, I'm not using them. I need to use these, so I've been using them for editing and stuff like that. Yeah, we should. Let's talk about the news.
News. Don't snooze or you miss the news.
There was a lot of news happening, like I said earlier. There's a lot of Gamescom stuff happening right now, which is happening earlier than I thought. Like there was, I guess, the opening night, like the Jeff Keighley. I didn't know Jeff Keighley was doing an opening night Gamescom thing, but a bunch of shit coming out of that. But the main, like one of the big, huge ones, which I was like, holy fuck, I didn't believe it. Indiana Jones coming to Switch officially. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This one kind of blew me away because I thought that this game would not be possible on Switch. I thought it was too graphically intense for Switch 2.
Well, it probably is. That's why it's not coming out until next year.
I mean, we'll see how well they do it. I was wondering if because there was some other news showing that WWE 2K25 was actually done by that. I forget what is the studio that did they did all the Mortal Kombat ports, but like Nintendo bought them specifically to do like Switch ports. And I was wondering if they're actually going to be involved with the with the Indiana Jones game, like maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to play this game since I first was seeing reviews about it, and it kind of like
Shiver, those guys, Shiver Entertainment. They
it fell by the wayside pretty quick. Like people were hot on it for a couple of weeks, and then people stopped talking about it pretty quick. So
and people really liked it. I watched some Twitch. Twitch play of it or whatever. I think the characters look weird. Like it kind of uncanny valleys me a little bit. I guess that's most.
I don't know if that'll ever not be a thing.
Most quote unquote realistic games, like games that try to be extra realistic, the characters just look so bizarre. Like it's almost like too, it's supposed to be too realistic, and it just rubs me the wrong way because of like how it looks so strange.
The more realistic a game tried to look at the time, you play it like a couple years later,
and it's just not age well.
Absurd.
But I mean, I'll be willing to try this game. It's interesting. Yeah, it's a Microsoft. I mean, it's a Microsoft-made game, right? It's on PlayStation and now it's coming to Switch next year. But I mean, I was really surprised. And then what's his face? Nate the Hate said that Starfield was coming to Switch too, which I'm like, hey, I mean, this is a Microsoft thing. Starfield it's funny Starfield though, because that game really like. It was a real dud. Like I don't think anybody liked that game. It's like it had a lot of they said it was going to be good, but I don't think it got reviewed well.
I think it's one of those games that's maybe people are going to be more fond of when like they patch it and add more to it. But
when they fix it,
I mean, I know it came out around the same time as Baldur's Gate 3, I think, or maybe not quite the same time. But I just remember like. There was like celebrity voice actors and stuff in it, and they were pushing that. Like, what's his name? There was a guy I follow on YouTube that did like a character, just an NPC voice or whatever, and like that was a big deal. Like the internet was buzzing about that, and it's like, oh yeah, he just recorded a couple lines for this character, but I don't know. It kind of felt like instead of making a splash, it just kind of went plump.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they were doing like whole like directs about it, and like I remember they're doing like big video presentations about Starfield, and when it came out, it was just kind of like, yep. And you still can't travel from planet to planet. I guess that was a big deal. Like you still can't fast travel in the way that they made it sound like you could do or whatever. I don't know. I just think it's funny. Another big announcement that happened. I don't think Gamescom related, but that's what John was saying when he said it was like his month. Shenmue 3 is officially coming to Switch as of right now.
That's crazy.
It's a Shenmue 3 Enhanced Edition is what it's called. No news about 1 and 2, but 3 is in fact coming to Switch. So all of those bingo cards worked out for him. So there you go. Shenmue finally coming around. It's going to have DLSS support, increased NPC density, whatever that means, 4K texture uplift.
Increased NPC density.
Enhanced graphics and performance, obviously. Classic camera mode. Improved interactions. It's funny. But yeah, there it is. It's like, yeah, there it is. Finally happening. Let's see. They announced some more games for the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. We are, in fact, getting the Mortal Kombat Mythologies games, so it's pretty awesome. We are getting Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero and Special Forces, which was a PlayStation 1 game that centered around Sonya Blade. So I always wanted to play that game, and it's going to be playable in the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. This thing is sounding pretty amazing. I would like to try to play MK Mythologies with the leverless. Let's see how well that does. I have actually beat that game on 64, so I made it all the way through to the end. But I'm happy that it's going to be on there because there's probably so many people that didn't play that game just because I heard.
So you would say the
that
control style has leverage on how you feel about it.
Sure. I mean, I'm a defender of Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. It's not that bad. I think it gets a lot better later in the game.
Nothing says defending someone like it's not that bad.
I played through it to the end. I was determined to beat that game, and I did. So, I mean, I don't know if I'll beat it again, but I'd like to try. But speaking about other great games, Bubsy 4D. 3D is getting a sequel. Also announced at Gamescom. When we walked into that retro taku place, that's what the people working there were saying. They're like, "Hey, did you hear that Bubsy's getting a sequel? There's Bubsy's 4D. Like,
what could possibly go wrong?"
Yeah, they were talking about Bubsy like in the store. I was like, "Wow, other people care about that game." But yeah, maybe they were just like, what the fuck? This trash game has another game. I know you love Bubsy, so you'll get 4D.
Well, I just love it so much. I think John last week on the show was like, tell me that Bubsy game was on sale or something. And I was like, nope.
Oh yeah, he was talking about the Bubsy, the Perfect Collection, because there's like a Bubsy collection that's coming out soon too.
Kind of makes sense that it would be leading up to a new release, but I heard another podcast say this, so I can't claim, credit for thinking of it. But the fact that it's called Bubsy 4D kind of implies that they are in on the joke, maybe, to where like maybe this will be ridiculous in a good way. But I doubt it. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be shovelware.
I mean, wasn't 3D really bad?
Well, 3D is so bad that's why 4D is such a meme, because 3D is like, that's last week I was talking about that. One of the earliest people I remember being like an internet mystery, like as a human, and he was the guy that played hours and hours, like thousands of hours of Bubsy 3D, and documented every like glitch he found and stuff, and like but recorded himself doing it the whole time. And he's a guy that can play video games in his head, like he's got a video game playing that he created that's always happening in his head.
What was that guy? What was his name?
It's like
you called him like La
La or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say you called him La Lali or something.
Well, I was find it out now.
I was trying to look him up and I couldn't find anybody by that name. But yeah, Bubsy 4D. Woof. Or meow, whatever you want to call it. I'm not gonna get it. But there is while you're looking that up, I'm just gonna go through some of those other things, because there are other cool stuff that was announced at Gamescom aside from Indiana Jones. Night Dive Studios is doing a game called Outlaws plus a handful of missions remaster. I guess Outlaws was a LucasArts game that came out in 1997 and was based on the engine for the Star Wars Jedi Knight game. So I'm really interested about that. I've actually never heard of it before, but I love these old school first person shooter games, and that's another one that's coming out and it looks cool. So I'm into it.
All right, here's the guy's name. His real name's Ryan Cadrian. Or wait, I don't know. But his internet handle is Ulalilia. So it's ULILLILLIA. And yeah, I don't know. Look that person up. Just Google that person. Look them up. They are a fascinating human being. And they just happen. The Bubsy 3D is what they're most known for, but just like seeing all the other stuff that they've been involved in, and just sort of them being kind of a divisive individual as far as how the internet feels about them. I just think it's a deeply fascinating human being. Bubsy.
I'll give it a look. But what else I'll give a look is He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Dragon Pearl of Destruction, which is coming to Switch also. And it's a He-Man beat 'em up. So, I mean, Who could ask for anything more? We always wanted a He-Man game, and now there's one coming to Switch. I mean, I'm interested in it. I'll check it out. I don't know. I liked He-Man back in the day, even though I don't think the cartoons held up very well. But whatever. But I mean, I could punch Skeletor in the face with He-Man. They're doing a new Lego Batman game, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, which kind of looks like Arkham Asylum in Lego form. Is kind of what I got for it, which looks cool, actually.
I guess.
I mean, I don't know. I'm interested in it. It's like I don't think there's ever going to be a Lego Batman game as good as Lego Batman 2, which is my favorite Lego Batman game. One of the few games that I platinumed on PlayStation 3.
What's the name of that developer? It's not Traveler's Tales, is it? It's something else.
Traveler's Tales did Lego games.
Okay, yeah, and they also did like that one Sonic game, Sonic 3D Blast or whatever. I think
they also did Super Monkey Ball Adventure on GameCube, which was not good.
Okay.
Also, yeah, I remember that they were on the credits for that.
Well, anyway, I think these were the people that made all of like the banger Lego games, and then other stuff that's come out in the meantime for the last several years hasn't been them. So this is them returning to the fold for making a Lego game. So that's kind of cool.
And it's a Switch 2. I mean, it's a Switch 2 game, and it looks. I mean, I've had a good amount of time with a lot of these Lego games, but there's so many of them, that some of them kind of suck. But I really like Lego Batman 2's DC Superheroes and Marvel Superheroes were my two favorite ones. I platinumed both of those on PS3 just because they were open world games and you can use all these different superhuman characters. And DC Superheroes was great because you could turn into Superman whenever you want, and whenever you turn into Superman, it plays the John Williams score from the 70s movie, and you can fly around to that song, and it's badass. It did the same thing for Wonder Woman. It played like the 70s Wonder Woman TV show theme whenever you turned into her. And you could fly around and do all these crazy like side missions, and with a full open world Gotham, Metropolis, whatever.
I want to get into the Lego games, but every time I try to play them, I like real Legos. I actually built Lego models recently, but just the Lego games, I just get overwhelmed in really, really fast, and I just can't stick to them very long. Every time I try to play them, they're just like there's too much happening. It's sensory overload.
Yeah, I like the open worldy ones, but they
what's
haven't been quite the same.
Lego City or whatever on.
Oh, Lego City Undercover was cool. I played through that one all the way too.
That game I can't deal with. It's just like
it's too much.
It gives me a headache when I try to play it.
It is kind of like balls to the wall or whatever with its zaniness or whatever. Yeah, they even did a prequel to that on 3DS, which I was kind of wanted to play.
Lego City Out of Cover.
I forget what it was called, but yeah, it's like whatever his name is, Chase McAction or whatever the main character's name is. It's like the prequel about him.
I appreciate that they're making these games that people love, and I hope someday I can love them.
I mean, I'm curious to try it out. I don't know
because I love Legos.
I don't know if I'll necessarily get it when it comes out, but I like the way it looks so far. Yeah, so cool. Let's see what else. I already said that Daemon X Machina got a demo, which I just played a little bit of, and I did that.
Is this it's Daemon X Machina like a sequel?
Yeah, it's like the mech game that was on Switch 1.
Right, but it's a sequel to that.
Yeah, it's the Switch 2. It's the sequel that's Switch 2 only. It's worth checking out. Like, it looks a lot better than the other one did. I mean, it looked nice from when I played it, but I only played it for like 20 minutes last night, but I thought it looked cool. Oh yeah, there's more stuff about the Rogue Prince of Persia, which is the new Prince of Persia game that's made by the people who did Dead Cells, which is like a roguelite or whatever. But I know there's some people were excited about that, aside from the Lost Crown team getting shut down right before, so it kind of has a little bit of a bad taste, but people seem to like it, and there's more trailers of that, and apparently that you'll be able to play Silksong on Switch 2, and it will have 120 FPS. That's the new thing out there that's going to be available at Gamescom for you to play.
Silky smooth.
Yep, at 120 FPS. I'll believe it when I see it. There's a game called Wizardom, which basically looks like a Heretic ripoff, a new fantasy first-person shooter that's coming to Switch soon. Oh yeah, kind of on the bad side, but I saw people not really liking the Tarnished Edition at Gamescom, the Switch 2 version of Elden Ring.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, there's a reason why they didn't have it ready for launch. Like, they've got to still be working on it. Like, they weren't allowing people to take footage of it while they were playing it either.
Yeah.
So
I was wondering if it's probably kind of like the Cyberpunk 2077 situation, where a lot of people really didn't like the way that played at the Switch 2 event, but it ended up being a lot better when it was released. So it's probably just an early version, you know.
But this game, like, if the frame rate's what's taking the hit, that's bad. You need that frame rate. Like, you could take the textures down, you can do this, that, and the other. But from that, I watched that IGN, whatever that video. I think maybe it's what you posted, and that's why I watched it. It was like, you need those frames per second when you fight bosses. Like, that's like, the bosses are so precise in that game. Like, you can't be missing frames. So I don't know. And they were only talking about handheld mode. That's the only way they had played it. So if it works like better in dock mode, I say I'm still not interested. I want it to be made well in general. Like, I've already played it, but if I'm going to rebuy it on Switch 2, I won't buy it if it suffers in handheld mode. Yeah. I think that's a compromise I will not make, because the only reason I would buy this is so I could play it in handheld mode.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I say, I don't know, give them time. Like, there's still no release date or anything, and maybe it's just not quite.
But it's a little bit of a shame. It does have that, I don't know. It's got a bit of a, like, bad taste to it or whatever, that they're not letting people record it, and it's very obvious. The reason why is because it's not performing well. So that's bad PR, and that's not something I like to see from FromSoft, because I like that company.
One thing I do think is cool, though, is that they announced that they're doing the Tourist Deluxe Edition. I don't know if you remember that game. The only reason I'm interested in it is that it's made by the same people who did like the Fast RMX games. And what was it? Digital Foundry was saying that, like, the PS5 version of the Tourist is like one of the best looking games, like, period, on any system.
Because they, like, have figured out how to optimize everything.
Yeah, because it's like the only game in 8K or something like that. Like,
that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
The Tourist is like an 8K.
Something like
that's
that,
right?
So I'm just kind of curious to see, like, what kind of, you know, visual stuff they can do to a Switch 2 version of the Tourist. You know, like,
I just recall it. What I think I played a demo of it. It's just like
it's like a voxel.
Voxel based.
It's a voxel. I mean, people really liked it. Like, apparently it played really well on Switch 1, but I'm just kind of curious to see, just because these guys are, like, so, like, you know, technology savvy or whatever. I'm kind of curious as to what sort of upgrades they'll do to it, and, you know, what 120 FPS or whatever. I'm sure it'll at least have that, but I'm just kind of curious as to what sort of bells and whistles it'll get on the Switch 2, the Switch 2 version of it.
You get a free beach ball.
I hope so. That'll definitely be real. But yeah, aside from that, there's like a new Star Trek interactive novel game-ish coming out next week, which I'd never heard of, but I kind of was.
Is that going to be on Switch 2?
It's on both. It's on Switch 1 and 2.
And it's an interactive novel?
Well, it's like what do you call it? You know, it's like the ones
Telltale.
Yeah, you know, like yeah, that's what they call them, right? Where it's pretty much like you're pretty much reading it, but you know, you don't play as much. It's more like, right? Don't they
walking simulator?
No, not. That's a term they call, like, it interactive. What do they call them? Interactive. I thought they were called interactive novels. There's a bunch of them that are on Switch. They're big. Yeah. They're big in Japan, you know, where it's kind of like, it's like Hotel Dusk is like that sort of game. Yeah. I would say, if you ever played those,
or like the Famicom Detective Club things.
Yeah, I guess, but those are kind of more like mystery. Well, I guess they're still, or like, yeah, like Phoenix Wright would be kind of like that too. But I don't know. I mean, there's only a couple Star Trek games on here, so I always get interested when I see a new Star Trek game coming out. And it takes place right after the end of Next Generation, so it's like in that timeline. And I don't know.
Okay.
I'm kind of curious.
So it's like it's sort of overlapping with Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, about right. Yeah, because they kind of were like at the same time.
They overlap as well.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what it is. It says interactive narrative game, so that makes me feel like it's like a, you know, interactive novel type thing.
Right. Probably dialogue based.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's worth mentioning. And I think we already said that the PlayStation 5s are going up, right, in price as of right now.
Yeah.
as of Thursday, as of recording this, we're recording at like midnight on Thursday. It is going up $50. The PlayStation 5 Pro is going to be like $750, is what IGN said. It's a pricey system there. $750. Yeah, the regular the disc drive one will be $550. The one without the disc drive will be $500, obviously, and the PS5 Pro will be $750. So
I guess it's basically just taking it back to around what it was when it first. Oh no, because I think the discless one was cheaper. You're right. So now the one that is discless, it costs what the disc drive one cost at launch.
Yeah, I guess because they never dropped the price, right? I mean, I don't remember hearing about
No, it hasn't gone down.
Yeah, so there you go. But yeah, aside from that, I think we're good. Oh, Trails in the Sky is available for pre-order on the eShop now.
Is there a demo for one of those?
Nah, no demo yet. But I'm very excited just to see it finally show up on the eShop. It's $60. I think it's only like 10 gig download or something like that. But I was putting together like a calendar of game releases just so I wouldn't forget about it. And I put Trails in the Sky first chapter on there because it's kind of one of my big games of the year. Because I've been wanting to play that series forever, and finally I can start from the beginning on Switch. Because I've never had the first version on there. And I think the remake looks really solid. So I'm really pumped to play that. And that's coming out the 19th of September. So
I find the whole
away.
Trails in the Sky or whatever, like that's just so daunting, but maybe this is a good entry point.
It's super daunting, but I want to play the first one. Because people really love that Trails in the Sky game, the original one, and I think the 3D remake looks cool. Like I've watched a lot of comparisons and all that, and it looks very nice. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good for this episode. Thanks everybody for listening. If you would like to, throw us some money for the show, go to patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast, and you can get a whole lot of bonus content. There's many bonus episodes there that you can listen to, and also you can get videos of us early and listen to the WART radio and all that fun stuff. It is all there. And also you can check us out at youtube.com/NintenDomain podcast and twitch.tv/NintenDomain podcast. And also Jer Domain and Trey Johnson and NintenDomain on Blue Sky. That's why we are all on there. So you can say hi to us on there and I'll read your comment. You do,
and we'll probably be talking about more in the coming weeks. But I'm going to Japan soon, so
yeah, you're
looking for some user
less than a month away, right?
Ideas, yeah, September 18th.
Shit. Oh, so you're going to go the day before Trails in the Sky, so you might see some Trails in the Sky stuff there.
I might see Trails in the Sky while I'm flying
because it's a global release. I think they're actually doing. It's weird because, some of the Falcom stuff gets... I think it's mostly Ease where you have to wait a year just because of how they do their translation or whatever. But, you will be there. It'll be fun for you. Eat a whole lot of fish because the fish is very good there. And make sure you go to at least one place that has an all-Japanese menu with no pictures on it. Because that's what we did. We went to this crab place with no pictures in the menu and all in Japanese. And I reserved it online also. And 99% of the things that we ordered was what we thought it was.
I was gonna say because I don't know of a dish called "Do you speak English?"
Well, it was neither do they. And if I asked for that, they'd probably kick me out. So
Engo ga wakarimasu ka?
Because there's plenty of places that say if you don't speak Japanese, don't come in here. Look out for those too. Those are fun. There are places on the door where it says, if you can't speak Japanese, don't come here. But that's a topic for another episode. But yeah, everybody, thanks for listening to episode 484. And we've been your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
I'm Jeremy Mikowski.
And we'll see you next time.
See ya. 50.